Hello, friends, and welcome back to Proving Grounds number 35. I am Lily, joined by Siren, and we got a doozy of a tournament here for you today.
How are you doing, Lily? I remember your voice being a little bit different, but I mean, like, nevertheless, like, people get sick. It's fine. How are you? How are you? I think you may have already said that, but
I'm doing good. I'm enjoying my Canadian life with my, I woke up to my Canadian breakfast, and then the governor, president, prime minister, whoever, phoned me and said, "Good morning to you," and I said, "Thank you, person."
Yeah, good old JT.
Yeah.
So seems like we're starting out with a silly zone versus. I sometimes I see these names and I'm like, this is a challenge for the commentators, isn't it? But how do you pronounce eek? Eek? Each? Each? I don't know. You tell me. Do you know, Popgun?
I'm looking at help desk. I didn't hear what you said. How do you pronounce ish? Ish
Yeah.
bin ish?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Is that ish?
Probably.
I don't know. We'll have to ask.
It's how do you pronounce it?
Oh.
It's however, I think it's a dealer's choice. You pronounce it however you feel like.
Okay.
It's the right way to go about it.
I'm gonna go ick today. Yeah. And if you tell me I'm wrong, no.
Sure. Well, the only people who would say something would be the idiots in chat, but who cares what they say?
That is so true.
And if any of the players, okay, so this is a thing that is a trend. Players that are playing, listening to the stream at the same time, and also going into chat and responding to what the commentators are saying while the set is going on. Why? Whatever happened to, let's not worry about what other people are saying about us. Let's focus on playing the set. Instead, no, it's, ooh, what is Siren saying about me?
I don't think many people care about that, actually. I
You'd
haven't
be
gotten any
surprised.
complaints in a while. I don't know. I think maybe the last time was perhaps 2021, but that's a whole other story, I think.
Is it now?
Yeah, maybe not the best conversation for a stream, I think.
Again,
but...
I am paying attention to help desk. So
oh,
if you,
jeez.
you feel free to do whatever.
I love help desk.
Yes.
Do you know, Popgun, this is a confession for stream. I gave myself the low ink roll despite, like, the tournament, like, when it was formed, I was basically already banned from it. And I only have it just so I can read the help desk sometimes, because it's like a therapy. As another TO, I like to just look at the help desks that I don't have to respond to and go, haha.
They're asking how many points they get for winning the whole tournament. Send out Q points, that is.
Oh, do they get me?
I don't know. I'm sure they do. We'll ask the winners afterwards and see what they got. Hello, Hero. Thank you for signing in to Splatoon. So this is Proving Grounds number 35. The difference this time around is that it's Splat Zones only. So if you're wondering how we got I already forgot the name of this map. Wow,
Sturgeon.
Sturgeon Shipyard, Splat Zones. Well, I haven't seen that in a while. Well, it's because there's going to be a lot of Splat Zone maps you haven't seen in a while. So.
Yeah, I feel like Splat Zones is, at least when making like a map pool, it's one of the easiest ones to like pick one and know, okay, this isn't really that controversial. But on that note, there is still going to be some stinkers in there. So whether you consider this one a stinker or not is it's kind of subjective, but I'm leaning more on the stinker side.
Okay. Well, it's a good Dynamo map, which might be why Silly Zone is using Dynamo right now.
Is it though? Is it really in pencil meta?
It is.
It's just got that jangly thing in front of it, but like that's like the only thing that's keeping you covered for the most part, I think, in any vulnerable position.
The only reason I know that is because we see a lot of silly stuff in low ink, and chat is always like, oh, of course they're going to use Shipyard here because this is such a good Dynamo map. It is such a good one that the Dynamo decided, I don't even need to play this anymore. Y'all can handle this on your own.
Yeah, I think I don't know if they're gonna. I guess that timer was probably past 50 already by the time that happened, so they do have no choice but to play it at this point, which is, kind of unfortunate. Is this still single E then?
No,
I'm gonna start asking you help desk question via
That's
comms.
fine.
It'll, because like if you're already answering help desk, like I might as well just like speed up that process and just make it like a screen.
It's a lot more streamlined when you just ask me in person instead of taking. Oh, somebody's typing in chat.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, this is going to count because the team that did not DC had the lead past 50. So now, why is that a rule? Well, because if it wasn't, then oh wait, we're about to get KO'd. Kick your router real quick, and we can get a free replay out of this. No, you're on your path to getting an L there. So that one's going to count. And also they continue to play it out anyways, but that didn't really matter. Now, this used to be a single limb. And to be honest, that format worked out great. We got a lot of people who complained on Twitter. You know what they would do the next time there was a Proving Grounds? They'd sign right back up for it. So I was like, okay, maybe you don't hate this format after all. But the reason we did that was to try to speed up the tournament. But the way we did it, it still ended up like the same amount of time, even with a double limb. And you're thinking, well, how could that be the case? It's because on winner's side, we did every match best of 5, which you shouldn't be playing a best of 3 in a single limb, in my opinion. And then top 4 was double limb anyways. So it didn't really save a whole heck of a lot of the time.
Yeah, I guess not. It's one of those weird things with like tournament planning. I guess now we're getting into TO nerd speak, but like it's a lot of things to consider, and that's one of the angles that I take when I'm like operating LANs is like how does this tournament run look for this player at this seed, and how does it look for this player at this seed, and da 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 da. So definitely looking at like the number of rounds overall and how that incorporates with the stream and how people experience the tournament, because like I think one of the issues too, I guess this is unavoidable in double elim, but not really so much in single, is like the wait time between like if you end up in losers at some point and then you just have to wait for the bracket to catch up to you, just stuff like that. But that was, I guess, that like that would be making a mountain out of a molehill. I like using that time, so you kind of stare at the bracket leading up to where you are and just playing open games and going, oh, okay, well this team might win that set, and then we might play this team, or we might play this team. Yeah, it's something for both of these teams to consider for later on in the tournament. And if this set goes on to continue in an unfortunate demise for teams like, how do you pronounce Eek? Then that might be something that they have to do later today as well.
So the difference between you and me is a double limb doesn't really bother us how we do things. There's like there's like no way you could do a double limb unless you have like the right number of setups for stuff like that. I remember that first Splatoon 3 tournament at Riptide when it first came out, and they just did like a 1-day tournament. But I remember initially they were saying we're gonna do a 32 team double limb, and it's like there's no way you can do that on 5 or 6 setups. Like you can only play so many sets at a time, versus this we have an infinite number of sets can be played at a time. So it's a little bit different with stuff like that.
I guess I'll nerd out on that topic a little bit. Oh, actually, never mind. I thought we had more time because, lobbies and DCs and stuff. But, we can go back right into this and save the nerding for later.
Hold that thought. There'll be plenty of time for nerding. Unless Lily shows up at any moment. Who knows? Hey, that is not the missile bringer. That's the Reslider one. Inkwall. I forgot that from Baguette.
I did not, to be honest, I did not know of this kit's existence. I know it existed, but like I didn't know what it was. Like full on, just straight up, just no one plays it enough. Like if you're gonna play a Reef Slider weapon, it's usually like Tetra or like Dread or something like that. But this is like kind of a rarer sight, I would say, in combat at least. But I'm not against it. It's just kind of quirky.
It is. Now I'm trying to think. Actually, no, I pinned this message somewhere in the IPL. There was somebody in IPL's Discord general who made a chart of how Reef Slider cheese on zones affects every map. Like, some maps you can do it, some maps you can't do it, some maps you need some special power-up to get it done. So maybe there's, like, something with this map with Reef Slider cheese they know something about. And I'm going to look that up while you continue to ramble about that.
Well, we do see Space Seals popping that Zuka, getting the pick on Sencon. Very much a position you don't want to be standing in the second somebody has a giant gun pointed at you. But this is going to be the start of Silly Zone pushing up even farther into the Eek base here. So you're getting them basically in the positions that Eek would want to be if they're leaving their spawn. But this is kind of getting to the point of spawn camping here. That hammer's going to come out, but that splashdown is going to quell things right away. And now we are getting down to the 50-point mark, which, to be honest, I thought we were going to be a little bit lower than here, but it's going to be quite the struggle for Eek to get out of their spawn at this point. Though, Commentators curse, that's going to be 3 down onto the side of Silly Zone. So they should be able to get back in here and cap, seeing like the Slosher has found Space Seals, and that is going to be pretty much just a 4-1 onto them and a flip back into their favor.
So according to Ray Zelo, this map is in the category of kinda able to cheese, but no matter what, will only be able to paint one zone. Which I guess makes sense, it is a 2-zone map, so maybe the Reslider can stall things out. But now you're gonna go to start thinking of how can we use this on the offensive side of things. Maybe like slide up that ramp and just place them a little bit here as one player dropping it down to the right side. That is the Nautilus with splashdown. By the way, the more I look at all these comps, the more I start to think, I think these players are just here to have a fun time. This is rather unorthodox across the board, the splashdown getting canceled right there.
Yeah, I not quite here. Okay.
What the heck was that?
Getting that one shot on a Sencon. You know what? If you're a true believer in the main weapon itself, I can totally see that pick here. So getting these picks on zone right now is actually going to allow them to cap it a lot faster. So with 20 seconds left on the board, it's just going to be that wiper onto the right zone, trying to, you know, pose a bit of a neutral threat onto them for the time being, and allow their teammates to get back in here. That hammer's going to be coming out as well, but that's going to mean they're moving off of the zone. They're barely holding on for now. It's just going to be 2 seconds left when they get that penalty applied. So once again, a situation where they're going to want to try and spawn camp like we saw them doing earlier in this game. And it did take a little bit of time before for Eek to get out of their spawn, but when they did, they were able to pretty much wipe the entirety of Silly Zone. So it's going to be a choice right here whether they want to ignore Whack or not. And wow, the cancel on that hammer there is going to come in clutch for them here.
I like how Whack was initially a little bit passive. Like, you saw them, I'm going to go up there and take a fight. And they were like, wait a minute, that's a bad idea. Let's wait for one of my teammates. And then when their teammates went up there, they got eliminated, and then they were just kind of stuck in an awkward situation. Well, I'm up here. And they pop this hammer and get knocked right back down. So how do you pronounce Ish? Right now, it's pronounced having the lead. If about a minute left to go, got a few penalty points to get rid of, and then they'll get the KO. But Block trying to do something about that, ultimately gets a trade. Here comes the Dynamo out yet again, so maybe it's just not a shipyard thing. Maybe it's just a 10-gauge thing, because they like using Dynamo in general. Can get some soda out on top of it. Pretty good weapon, I guess. Especially when you're not facing a pencil. You don't want to be going up against that Nautilus, though, as it does mow them down. Silly Zone has control of the zone.
Yeah, Baguette here playing quite aggressively into the spawn of Eek. And I guess this is really their last chance of holding this, and they do get 2 down. They have very low penalty points here, so we could very well be seeing an overtime lead switch. But you do see that cooler pop for them once again. They've spotted out Color in their base. They just need to get back into the zones and cap once. With 4 seconds remaining, they only have 1 shot to do this. They do have to win this fight, or at least hold the neutral long enough to do something about it. But that Reef Slider is going to be coming out. Eek making out of it very narrowly with that wiper coming in. That's going to be 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. That's going to be the lead. What?
There goes the Reef Slider. The optimal choice. Why would you use missiles on a map like this when you can just Reef Slide at the end of the game and get the dub with 1 point lead into your favor? And you get the 2-0 sweep. You're moving on to the next round. Nicely done, Silly Zones. I was just Googling how to pronounce Ish, and I found a YouTube video, but I'm not even going to bother listening to it right now because that team just got sent down to losers bracket.
Yeah, really unfortunate to DC in that game one there because you saw how close things were with both of these teams. Um, just I think it really could have gone either way for this set, just judging by the very narrow margin and having to get that lead in overtime as well, just barely being clutched out by that reef slider there. Like things would have been ultimately very different there, I think, if that had not come out whatsoever. You would have had that dynamo contesting zone and very reasonably could have gotten that pick off of top mid if they had just a few more seconds to get that slosh out. But here we are.
There we are. In Silly Zone, getting the dub one way or another. DC in game one, overcoming a deep hole in game number 2. And we're going to be moving on to the next round. Now, what match are we going to be streaming next? Rice, I told you were going to pick, but I think we already missed some of these matches because we started, like, everybody else was a round ahead of us. So I think I found a good one. And again, more behind the scenes nonsense, just making sure you can see this, Rice. Just nod your head wherever it is that you are, and I can get the confirmation. But we're going with big fat sea cows and some pickup team name. But you were gonna nerd out about something. Or you
Oh
continue
yeah,
the nerding.
I guess more just like a LAN TO thing. I thought it was interesting that you brought up like 5 or 6 setups. I think you saw this year at Low Tide we had 11. So just in the
Yeah.
last couple years or so, like Splatoon has basically doubled our physical size as far as the number of setups go at events, and I think that's going to start to become like a bit more of the norm in years. And it's still never going to get us to the level of what we can do with online play. But double elim is something that's a little bit, I think, more realistic. And it's what we kind of had to do with Low Tide, if you're familiar with the format, is that we've done that for 2 years now for Low Tide 23 and 24. We did double elim pools because it's the only way to run an event that size in that period of time.
Yeah, it was crazy. Just looking at it in comparison to what Riptide has always looked like.
Mhm.
It just went on and on and on. And my first thought was when I saw the room at LTC, it was like, how the hell are you going to hear anything Magic and Siren are saying at that desk, like a country mile away?
Mhm.
Uh, my wife was volunteering. She was like a pool captain, and she was stationed at like the far away
Oh yeah.
groups. I think there was just some sort of like Discord chat. Like you basically just had to like type to each other
Yeah,
to get
we
communication out.
we had to do that, but I think that's kind of nice anyways, because even with 23, it was like, all right, you come in here and then you walk over and then you go, this score, and then you walk to the other end of the room again, you go, oh yep, and I was like, did you confirm with both teams? And they're like, nope, and then they walk back and then they walk back over again. It was a lot. So I don't think it's bad per se to have that Discord chat, but we definitely got to make do, and we definitely dwarfed Smash Ultimate by the end of that weekend. I mean, you
That
were
was
there, so you saw that.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now I wonder if that's obviously that's a sign of how much Splatoon has grown, but I wonder if that's also commentary on what's been going on with the Ultimate scene. Um, with Steve nonsense going on with that. Also, it's well, I mean, not Low Tide City isn't a bad event, but it's not as big of a Smash event as some of the other ones are.
Hmm.
We'll see how Riptide goes, but I will say, do you know if do you know anything about Riptide? Like, as far are we back in that same room we've always been?
I believe so. I do know a little bit, but not too much about like floor placement and stuff like that. But we're probably going to be in that same room, but just capitalizing a bit more on that space and getting some more setups in there. That would be my guess. I'm not Riptide staff. I do get the common Riptide questions just as like, hey, you're Siren, you answer help desk. You must work for Riptide. Yeah, it's just more of a I work here, but I don't do this.
I got questions at Low Tide City.
Oh,
people came up to me and asked me some stuff, and I was like, no, I don't like go to that. I don't know anything. I will leak this to you though, and I won't say who, but someone did come up to me with like a modded controller, and was like, is this going to be allowed? And I said, not if you tell anybody about it.
oh my
So,
gosh.
so I'm not going to reveal who, but that did happen. By the way, Big Fat Sea Cows is Division 5, if you care about those kinds of things. This is a college team, by the way. And they are, well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but you're probably going to be seeing a screenshot of me giving them a DM later this week with how well they've been playing. They are a real underdog in this set, but don't be surprised if they find a way to pull off an upset.
Yeah, you gotta watch out now. Like, Popkin's watching the actual tournament now. He's not just reading help desk. So you gotta, if you're in low ink, you gotta be careful. Don't play too good here.
Could be. Well, they've already been playing really good. I think they beat Smoothie in SOS on Wednesday. Now that's like a Smoothie that's just reviving from the dead.
Yeah.
But still, that's not a typical win you see low-ink teams kind of get right here. Not the way, they're going up against a pickup team name called Nameless Nomnomnom, who has a bamboo on it. Okay, can you explain this to me? Why we keep seeing the vanilla range blaster so often, and even in like the 20XX tournament, like the top level teams are using it still over the Kraken Splat Bomb one. Do you have any idea of why that is?
Yeah, not every map is great for Kraken anymore, and especially with the nerfs to the special, I don't think a lot of people are having the most fun with it right now, myself included, as someone who played 96 Scal. The way they changed the charge time to get like a full surge on Kraken means that if you had like a timing or a rhythm to it beforehand, you are very awkwardly just flopping around now.
There you go. Well, the trade-off is you get this wave breaker right here. And by the way, the nameless person on this team doing a good job of getting a couple of splats on top of it. But Coronavirus, who's already been Coronavirus won low ink, so they're just subbing in for this team. Won low ink like many years ago. Not good enough to get the win there. Nameless name. Nom's their way to a victory.
Yeah, a very quick one at that too. You could see that lockout did pay off for them in the end, even if Big Fat Sea Cows was able to break out of it, even if momentarily, just enough to hold things for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good dub for them.
It sure is. Yeah, I didn't want to yap too much about Kraken there, but do you know what I'm talking about with the surge changing?
Be
honest.
Of course I do, but let's assume the idiots in chat have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, so before you would hold like a button and then you would get like a full you could speed ahead and move forward. Now they've changed that to like at least like a second longer or something like that, enough to make it so that like just it's so awkward because the amount of time has changed. So if you're used to holding it for like a couple seconds and releasing, a couple seconds releasing to just move naturally, now it's just like you do that because it's muscle memory, and then you just kind of flop because you just move at the normal Kraken speed. So it's kind of it's an issue, and then even then like the charge time is so slow, it just provides a lot of reaction time. And let's be real, like, if you were around for Splatoon 1, like, Kraken's not really supposed to be a fair special, so... I'm just speaking the truth here, it's not fair.
Oh, for the longest time in Splatoon 3, it wasn't fair. Some would argue that it's still not
even more
to a certain
unfair.
Extent. Yeah, but they, it has calmed down a little bit.
I think it's players, fair now.
The players who use it for what it actually is and didn't just pick it up because it was Clam Blitz cheese and then dropped it when that got nerfed out. Like, the players who actually work on it are pretty good at it, but there's not a lot of players, I guess, who have kind of pushed it to that extent. Regardless, though, who's this? Badoose? With like, a nice little song.
Yeah. I would say so. You do see Maxine moving up here a little bit further as that range blaster does try to get a pick, but then does drop. That cooler is going to come in handy for them here. They're going to be able to get back into this fairly quickly. And already getting 2 picks again onto Big Fat Sea Cows is just going to be the one remaining left in zone. But Deuce, I can't even tell if they're retreating or pushing up at this point. I guess pushing up, that's definitely going to be the spawn of Big Fat Sea Cows there. That killer whale going to be coming out. As you can tell, that Badooz does have a lot of trust in their teammates to cover behind them as well. But going to be a game now of like who's going to get specials, who's going to move in a zone. It's very neutral, more so than it looks, I would say.
I like how nameless name nomnomnom was able to create that lockout there. They didn't lose any players, but once they realized they were losing ground, they just started backing up in certain areas while holding others, specifically keeping that range blaster and the trident bow on the right side. So they were able to extend their lockout there, not by forcing any kind of position, but not by surrendering control of mid in the process. Still, Big Fat Sea Cows. No penalty points to speak of, have control of the zone, got rid of the nameless range blaster, and they're looking to threaten, find a way to get lead here.
Yeah, certainly that would be the case. I mean, hey, the zone just keeps capping back and forth, but it's going to be one of those tournaments again where we're going to see a lot of those games where it's just, okay, this team caps, and then the other team caps right again, and I see it mostly on Mahi nowadays, where it's just like, okay, but the real question is who's going to be able to win the fight and actually move past the zone. Even now, it's just so much time is consumed with trying to cap the zone itself. I feel like it's way harder than it used to be.
What is the lockout scenario here for Big Fat Sea Cows? No penalty points, and now instead of dealing with a Kraken, they get a wave breaker thrown their way. That's going to result ultimately in the trade as the Sea Cows get the lead. When they find ways to hold on to it, they got the big bubbler that's been buffed time and time again in recent patches to try to hold down control of the zone, getting some more splats, but they don't seem too interested in pushing up into that range blaster that's holding control of that wall area right there until they just drop down right into the pencil. But Badooz gets a nice deuce trying to get a trio. Ultimately doesn't get that, but gets control of the zone, but not before Big Fat Sea Cows add a juicy chunk to their lead.
Yeah, Big Fat Sea Cows getting into this great spot here with their points at least. There's 2 minutes left in the game. So they are definitely going to have to win like a couple fights to get back in the mid here. But you do see Neptune getting that pick on a Badooz, I believe. So is going to be able to fight this, is going to jump back to assist their pencil in moving from the right direction and not getting flanked out by this range blaster who seems kind of greedy to get these picks into their spawn. Obviously, when you that lead is on the line, you're gonna do whatever it takes, but Badooz not able to capture that just in time.
Still being very pesky, going all over the map right here and making sure they stay alive with the rest of their teammates that come right back in so they can continue to attack the zone. So the underdog, the Big Fat Sea Cows, with the lead heading into the final minute, and they're about to get control of the zone back yet again. Keep in mind, they do have the pencil, and pencil in this map just kind of hangs around that one spot in particular, attacks the zone, and never really dies because of old protections that they got right there. That's going to be key for the Sea Cow. The boring key to victory. Just keep your pencil alive in the last 40 seconds. They might find themselves tied up one apiece.
Maxime gonna be popping that cooler up on that top right there. This is one more chance for nameless name nomnomnom to get back into the zone here. It's gonna be that zip cast that's probably gonna, oh well, they don't even need to camp it if they finish it before it does land. So Badooz moving up here. You can tell they're definitely playing with a lot of conviction here, trying to get into their spawn. I'm very surprised, honestly. Like, I'm saying this pretty late in the game, but this Bamboozler is kind of a choice on zones over pencil. But with that, they've still been able to hold the zone long enough. It's going to be a 2v2 here, and Big Mini is going to be desperately trying to cap here, getting that cooler popped out there, but the Junior going down there is going to make that really rough for them, and that is going to be a lead swap in overtime.
Once they lost control of their own little plat area there and the pencil got eliminated, that was just the beginning of the end. Nameless name nomnomnomming their way into the enemy side of the map. And once again, not losing too many players. They did lose the bamboo, but was able to kind of back off, pick off players one at a time as they're working their way back to the zone. And then it was just the pencil player left alive and everybody jumping into them. It wasn't going to be enough to outpaint all of the pressure from Nameless. Big Fat Sea Cows go down 2-0. An impressive 2-0, but however, the score is always going to say you didn't win a single game, so it's not that impressive in the end, is it?
Yeah, it's I'm gonna be so honest. I just blanked out what you said, so I'm just gonna agree with you blindly.
That's fine.
You could
That
have
is
said the
totally
most
fine.
egregious thing possible, and I would have been like, "Yeah, Pop Gun, so true, bestie."
Yes. By the way, shout out to Lily, who is who's just chilling at the moment. Was going to commentate this, but it looks like it's just going to be me and you for what? 2 more sets?
I think
Maybe
so.
one. I don't know how this works.
I don't know. I want to stay here all day. I want to stay
No, you
here
don't.
till. Oh,
No, you don't. 2
low-key,
more
I do
sets.
want to go to IKEA. Not for the meatballs. I want storage.
Storage? What kind? You talking about like
I want
office
to
storage or dresser?
I want to redo my closet, like the inside of it.
Ooh, that's something I wish I could do. Well, I share my closet with my wife, and by share I mean if it was turf war, I'm consistently in danger with the amount of territory that I have in that closet. So yeah, there could be more stuff.
Well, what do you have? Like probably like I would say like 14 t-shirts. One for 2 weeks, without having to do laundry.
Oh wait, we talking about me or you?
You.
Me? I have more than 14 t-shirts, and I don't hang them up.
Yeah, well, do you fold them in the closet, or you have
Yeah,
like a dresser?
so like I have like this little rack thing that's got a couple of shelves on it where I keep my shirts, my shorts, like all that kind of stuff. But like the actual hanging closet space, I have a lot of hoodies. I love hoodies.
Okay.
Pullovers, stuff like that. That I don't have a whole heck of a lot of space of, which I guess I don't really need. But my wife uses a lot of it, which is good. Like our closet's getting used. But so you're thinking of like something that you can build and put in your closet, kind of like additional racks and stuff.
Kind of more just like I want like the interior of it, like the shelves themselves that are in the closet and the hanging bar. Like I want to replace the hanging bar because I'm not gonna take a picture of the inside of my closet, but like it's actually like a C shape. Like it's kind of scary. I think I need something stronger.
Your closet itself is C-shaped?
No,
like
the metal bar that holds up my clothing on the hangers.
Oh,
It's
I
like
gotcha.
C-shaped now, like it's like bending because of the weight in the middle.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
not supposed to be C-shaped.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be C-shaped. Like I actually have too many clothes. I was
about to say, how much are you putting on that thing for it to bend?
well, this has also been my closet for the last 24 years. I know that's older than everyone in the Splatoon community ever, but
Probably.
it's it's been bent for as long as I can remember, at least. So but this is actually not even my only closet. I have 2 closets and like a dresser.
And you need okay, so you're just
Yes.
bragging about 2 different closets here, but one of them is probably not going to pass a safety inspection.
No.
Okay.
That's the one in my
Fair.
room, the more important one.
Okay.
I have one closet for like the one that's here is like my normie clothes, quote unquote, and like my biz woman clothes. Like if I have a job interview at like a office, that's like the clothing I would wear. And then in my other closet is like my alternative fashion, which is probably more expensive than the normie clothing wardrobe.
And can't be put in the same closet as the normie clothing because they
don't fit.
They don't work with each other. Yeah.
It just doesn't fit. Yeah.
Okay.
It,
Well,
if I did somehow fit that physically on the bar, I know it would snap.
hey, people in chat, press 1 if you have a closet. Um, we don't have to hog the closet conversation. Anybody here could chime in. What's your closet like? And are you going to IKEA at any point today? Do this. I can't think of the last time we went to IKEA, although we do have a couple of furniture options there. Um,
Really?
here from yeah, we have an IKEA that's only like 20 minutes from our house, which is nice. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, the meatballs are okay.
I used to go on dates there a lot really early in my relationship with
Oh my gosh, that's a good. Honestly, that is a good date spot.
IKEA food court.
Well, maybe not IKEA in general, but just okay. So, if I can continue this rant, there, if you were to go on a date, and especially like a first date where you're getting to know somebody, you don't go to the movies because then you go there and you don't talk to each other for like 2.5 hours or 3 hours if you're watching the Oppenheimer movie or something like that. And then it's just like, okay, well, that's it. Well, it's like you didn't spend any, you just sat next to each other. And maybe if you're like a teenager, you do that awkward, oh, I'm going to try to hold her hand kind of thing. But that's not really like a date should be getting to know someone. So mini golf is a fantastic date idea. And IKEA, even though it might seem, oh, you're going to look at furniture, like you're going to look at furniture together and you can talk about stuff and be like, isn't this kind of silly, this thing that takes like 50 pieces to build, like it drives conversation. So yeah, that's a good date idea. Genuine.
And you get an idea of what kind of like interior decorating that person likes. Like how are you gonna live with someone if you can't agree on like how a room should operate?
You get a bigger house and then you just like
You
have your
just
separate places you hide.
you just cut it down the middle and you don't talk to each other.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
that's what this, I mean, I'm hiding in this room right now. Well, I mean, we also have a kid, so like all that goes out the window when that happens.
Yeah.
uh but yeah, IKEA's a great deep deep a great date idea, if that is the case.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. And then you get cheap food.
It's not that bad though.
It's really good actually. I like the meatballs. I like the lingonberry sauce. So,
Lingonberry,
yeah.
like the red thing.
Yeah. Makes you feel like it's Thanksgiving, but it's
Oh,
not.
lingonberry, tart and bitter sweet taste suited for cooked preparations. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, you can get lingonberry jam at IKEA, at least in Canada. Pretty good.
Nice. We are Falco, non-idiot in chat, one of the few people in chat who's actually has my respect. And how long has Lily been a mod for IPL? How long has that
I don't
been a
know,
thing?
someone's got to change that. I'm just kidding.
That could be, it could be me if I knew how any of that stuff actually worked. But yes, we're stalling. We're waiting for the next set, which is likely going to be Freaky Town versus Bear. But there was a
Freaky town.
DC in the set before that. So we're waiting on things to kind of play out here. This is Proving Grounds number 35, and this is Splat Zones only. 21 teams sign up. We did have 24. We had like 6 last night, but everybody waits to the last minute. So things are doing good here.
Yeah. Yeah, did you see my my thread on Blue Sky and Twitter the other day about like what people like think of how lands run?
I saw you ask something about if you should get your bachelor's in business,
Oh,
and I
okay.
was like, I don't know anything about business, so I'm not going to just chime in and give advice that's like bad, because I don't
do,
know if it's bad.
do
That's
you
the
have a
last thing I saw.
bachelor's in anything?
I have a bachelor's in sport management, and I
Do you use it?
actually, yes. So
Oh.
so here, okay, so I do work in that field. Um, but my degree didn't do anything to help me get into that. Like I started working part-time in that field
Mm,
while I was getting my maybe the fact that I was getting it helped me get the part-time job, but the
right.
part-time job slowly built up my resume to where I could like climb the career ladder kind of thing. But there's several people at the level I'm at that don't have a degree, period. They just got a ton of experience. So I was like,
Yeah.
I don't really know. I would not go and get my master's in that field because it would literally do nothing for me, which is like
Okay.
the general advice I would give to anybody is like if you know your degree is going to lead to something, yeah, I get it, but versus like my wife who needed a master's in her field for it to work out kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's kind of one of the things that I am curious about because like there is part of my brain that's like, "Oh, I might move to the States one day, unfortunately." And
Once you see how November goes first before you make that decision.
what's happening in November? That sounds so threatening.
Well, we're having an election. It's an election year in the States.
Oh,
Not that we're going to
yeah.
get into that. I'm just throwing it out there. But please continue.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I don't know how worthwhile that what I'm getting is in the States. Like, I think a lot of people have associate's degrees, so I'm kind of like, it's basically like they don't even call it that here.
Like,
Ontario has like a bunch of weird names for like what you get for going to college, but by definition, what I'm doing is like what they call an associate's degree in the States.
so it's like a 2-year degree
Yes.
kind
Yeah.
of. Okay. Yeah, that would be an associate's for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
That's what I found out. That's just what I called it in that post because it's not called that. It's like called like an Ontario college something diploma. I don't know.
Ontario degree of 2-yearity. Okay.
They don't. I don't know if we even have degrees that are like under like 3 or 4 years in Canada at all. Like just degrees. Period. Like they just call it diplomas.
So what you were you were alluding to a thread you had about lands?
Oh yes. um yeah, I just some of the responses I got on that were great. I don't know what was on my mind just now, but I remembered Balloon's response to it was beautiful. Let me find that one.
What was the topic of the
Oh
thread?
yes, yes, yes. The topic was how do people think SplatLANS operates, i.e., how we acquire events, what we do. And I said, there's no wrong answers. I just want to know perception. And to be honest, there is wrong answers because there's an objective truth of what we do and what we don't. I just really didn't want people to be like, I don't want to reply because I think like this is going to be so wrong, but like there is wrong answers technically. Like Toasty came into my replies and started like grading people and being like, this isn't real. I'm like, Toasty. Like half of the people took it seriously and were like, I think this is it. And then some people like Bloom were just like, pick a date for the lab, collect TOs who can go, coin flip who commentates, drone strike splat safety band players. I and I honestly I think we should take that last part and actually start applying it.
That's too expensive though.
Yeah.
Drones are probably very expensive with that.
Now, yeah, it would probably run us a bit over budget.
But okay, so what was the thesis of that? Or what were you expecting, I guess, is the response? Because obviously you posted it as a
like I want to see who would get things accurate, or if there was like if it was common to know like how exactly things work. Because no offense at all to anyone really, because they don't know, but like a lot of times people will talk in ways that kind of like to me they're like, oh I see, you think that like we have a choice over XYZ, or we can just do this, but and it again, it's again like that's no one's fault really, but I just was curious if it was like a popular thing to know about what we do and how that happens. But the general idea I got was that the idea, like I guess the perception is very vast as to what we do. Um, really, no one had like the exact same answer, and I think spare maybe one or two people like getting it sort of close. Uh, really, no one got that right at all. At least out of what you can write in like a few sentences on Twitter, but
So
or Blue Sky.
if I'm trying to like take a guess at what you might assume the public perception is, would be a couple of the comments that you see over the course of the year is like, how come they're doing this during the school season and not in the middle of summer when
Mhm.
I don't have school? Or, oh, they're giving it another land in Ohio. How come I'm in Montana and we don't have a Montana land yet? Kind
Yeah,
of
stuff
thing.
like that. Or like, can you guys please run an event at the Kalahari in this area? Or
Yeah.
why isn't this event a major? And it's like, well, we don't decide that at all. Like, no one can decide that really. Just stuff like that. And this isn't me shading anyone. It
Right.
makes me like, it makes me think about what people think we are able to do, I suppose.
And that's just your way of like trying to change public perception or like just give people ideas.
I don't think at least not yet, I don't think I've changed anyone's perception on how it runs because I haven't really made like any post being like, well, this is actually how we operate. I just ask the question, how do we operate? How do you think we operate? How do we get events? How do we communicate this? How do we uh plan them basically? And yeah, it doesn't seem like many, if anyone, really knows. So I'm actually considering doing a bit of a video on it, but you still haven't taken me on the podcast, so I don't know. Maybe it's a
You're
topic for that.
you are the I've said this before. You're the
Yeah.
only major Lantio who hasn't been on. I've had Magic on multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Kraken, although I had Kraken on representing Splat Safety, not talking about Lance. I've had Rays.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? That's all of them, right?
Have you had
Seekin
Rissa?
on. I've had Seekin on. I've had Hammer on.
Have you had
I've had
Rissa?
Rizza. Rizza was on for the Shine. I talked to Rizza while she was at the Boston airport.
Oh my!
So yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
but me. What's up with
Yeah.
that?
I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to it. Get around to it. I like having people on the podcast because that's 30 minutes I don't have to script.
Yeah.
It's just 5 minutes coming up with questions and then just let this other person talk while I nod my head and drink water. Those are the best ones.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I like that because I can yap.
Well, good. Because there is like a lot of things to yap about. So I see the next set's going up, but there is one thing I do want to run by you, and that is the concept that lands don't take place during the summer. If I were to respond to your question or to that on Twitter with a guess as to that why, would it be because does it have to do with pricing? Like, are venues more expensive in the summertime?
Yes and no. Well, for one, we don't really have that many options as to what events we end up at. So if it's like, okay, Riptide is happening in September, always, okay, then we're going to be at Riptide in September, and that we don't change that. So that's not up to us. And then the other reason is pricing as well. So I know the reason exactly for Mother's Day weekend at Low Tide was just like the deal for the hotel block and the resort itself is just it's too good to like basically not take. So it is a factor for them for sure. And I imagine that summertime real estate at things like the Kalahari, of course, it's going to be like, there's no way we can take half of our resort so a bunch of sweaty gamers can take it instead of a bunch of families on family vacation that are going to spend like so much money because they're going on vacation and they have a budget for it, you know?
I've been to a Kalahari. Now, I've been to 2 different Kalaharis, but I think I've been to a combined 5 trips to those 2. We've never been there while the outdoor water park is open, because they don't open until after low tide city, and they close by the time Riptide rolls around. And I always wonder like how crazy that place is when like half of the building is actually open, because we're never really there when that's kind of going on. Liz is typing something in the chat. Shout out to our Proving Ground staff. Which reminds me, I haven't paid attention to help desk. Is meant to be W7. Oh, hold on. What are they talking about?
WB 2.7.
Why would? No. The game, like the set match, is called Winners Bracket 2.7.
Right. Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. That's Bear versus Prismatic. But obviously, we're about to be looking at Bear.
Yeah, so Bear won, and they're playing Freaky Town. Flat Zones at Museum is game 1.
I hate this map. I'm done with being neutral. I hate this.
Why do you hate it?
So, like most reasonable maps have a way to move back into your spawn that doesn't require you moving forward first.
Move back into your spawn without moving forward?
So, like, if you're, like, fighting in zone and you're like, oh, this isn't going well, I want to back up a bit, there's, like, you have to climb top mid to, like, get back into your base.
Yeah, and if you're in zone... Okay, but if you're in zone...
You still have to climb top mid. And then jump.
You go the spinner. You can go the ramp. In zones,
what ramp?
You have that... like the ramp up to your spinning thing, that plat area. Okay,
there's no
so
ramp
if you're
on this one,
there's no ramp leading back up like in Rainmaker.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about the uninkable block near the Clan Blitz goal? That doesn't exist in zones either. Nope. Oh.
Yeah, I like how Rice is chiming into this too.
I haven't paid attention to that. So no, I did not know that.
Yeah, I hate this map. I don't know why some tournaments still play it. Wink,
wink. A lot of these maps kind of suck.
Yeah, it needs like a ramp or a sponge or like something. But the only way back into your spawn without like jumping out is taking that like the spinner and jumping back in, like and leaving yourself extremely vulnerable.
Okay, so as we're watching this one, and I think we're just waiting one more player, we'll keep an eye on that particular thing. And okay, you pointed out something to me about this with Rainmaker, how, or maybe it wasn't this map, but it was some map in particular, how there's only one map we use competitively in Rainmaker that only has one checkpoint, whereas others have two. This is it, isn't it? This one only has one checkpoint at the plat.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is Museum is terrible.
What about Clan Blitz? Everyone loves Clan Blitz.
Is fine. It's fine, but it's fine at best. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's fine at best. We have like one map mode. Like,
we can't get rid of every map. Okay, I need something. And okay, so this is a map list that is generated by the player, and it's Splat Zones only, so you're gonna get some jank in there. Like if we get to a game 4, you're gonna have some people in chat that are gonna be moaning and groaning. Oh, why do they even have this one in there? But you know, it's the name of the game. You also don't see Splat Zones Art Academy a whole heck of a lot. That's just because you're so used to seeing tower control there. But hey, it's at some point. There's only so many maps we can use. I wish the airport was used more, not because I think it's good, just aesthetically I like seeing it. I hate the fact that Umami and Scorched Gorge are used so often because it's the same exact map, not layout, but just like you're in a giant canyon area and it's boring to look at.
Yeah, I guess so. I feel that way a bit about like there's one. Ramen is Muscle Forge with noodles on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Like, it's okay. I'm not the biggest ramen fan, but like it's like okay, I could see why someone would want to play this. But like it's just Muscle Forge. It really is. There's
Muscle Forge
actually
wasn't aesthetically pleasing either. But I guess Humpback and Muscle Forge kind of are the same vibe in a
I
sense.
guess so. Yeah, Humpback's a little darker, so I like it because I'm a gremlin. Mako and Barnacle give me. I mean, they're both shopping places, but it has like that sterile, like Walmart look.
I guess it does. Okay, so what always throws me off about Mako Mart or Mako Mart? I think you sneezed when you said it. It's like on a second store because you can fall to your death on this map. So like,
What?
yeah, you can like. There's like some areas you can fall off of.
Yeah.
So,
What does that
but
have to do with going to the second store, though?
you're in a grocery store and you fall to your death. The only way
Yeah.
you could do that is if it's on the second store, like on a second floor. I guess
Oh,
you should
like a
say.
story.
Yeah, second story of the place, which is weird that like a grocery store would even be something like that. But that's my problem with Mako.
I used to have reoccurring nightmares as a child that I would just be out like shopping, and then the ground would open up and I would fall through it. And
What do you mean reoccurring?
it happened over and over again. It was the same nightmare, and the ground would open up, and then I would start falling through it, and then there would be a door at the bottom of the hole, and it would like open as I was falling, and then I would fall through the door, and then I would
Okay,
wake up.
what did it lead to?
Nothing. I woke up every time. Like the door was me waking up.
That's unfortunate that that you never got the ending to that. It seems like you were going somewhere important.
Yeah, I know. I was on some wizardry stuff. I almost swore.
Please. All right. So I think we're done stalling. I think we got 8 people in a lobby. And I think
Yeah.
we're ready to play. Freaky Town versus Bear Bear. Now, let me look at the roster of this. For Bear Bear, oh, I can't pronounce half. VBS? Sketch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I guess I can click on them and learn more information. Hey, this person won low ink.
Wow.
Nice.
Congrats.
And a paddling pool. That's more impressive than winning the low ink.
Freaky Town or Bear Bear one?
Bear Bear. VBS
Oh.
on Bear Bear. I don't recall who this player is. There's been so many low ink wins, it's kind of hard to keep track of all this. All right. Now, was that the Kraken? Oh, there's a lot of stuff. Okay, no, that's the regular roller with the bubbler on there. And that is the Kraken. No, it's not the Kraken blaster. It's the regular blaster with splashdown and points.
Well, why would you run Kraken on this map? You can't even run under spawn.
Well,
To jump off the top mid, now we have 2 little blocks that even make it worse, actually. This map got worse!
I don't know, but they are going to be using the splashdown variant and point sensor on top of that as well, trying to keep track of that roller. You may or may not be using Ninja Squid. I wasn't paying attention, but those catchers are going to be annoying to deal with as well.
You could basically assume that if it's a roller, they're running Ninja Squid, unless, I mean, like, not this far in the tournament, at least.
There it is. There it is, the Ninja Squid roller.
So now we do see self-care here, moving up on that left side. That roller gonna drop directly on their head as they try to capture the zone once again. It truly is the most death pit of maps.
Oh, flow states as well. Freaky Town. Yeah, I haven't even looked at their roster just yet, but self-care is important, especially when you got somebody like that on your team right there as they're starting to mow down reasons. We're just like random dictionary words are playing in this game right now, and Freaky Town got control of his own good.
I do like this positioning that self-care is taking here, just hopping over that block and getting into the base, not really letting that slow them down at all. But deciding to go back for the cooler there is going to mean that they have a little bit of time to breathe for the side of Bear Bear. They do get that pick onto the gal at last. That balloon is going to be ready from Inche on zone. And yeah, it looks like they're going to be able to cap again, but what does it really matter?
It means the game continues to go on.
I
It
guess
gives them
so.
an opportunity to start pushing up right here. As the Tetra players could get flow state at least until Liam Lover. They would clean up on top of that right there. Lucy Lover as well. A lot of love going on in this game right now. But it's Bear that has control of mid. It doesn't look like they have any players pushed up to the flat, but it doesn't look like freakytown has a way to get to the zone anyways.
Yeah, it's going to be a struggle for them here. They do have to drop onto this bottom right area. The splashdown is going to come out, but that means that splashdown can't be used on the zone as well. Seems like they don't quite need it though, as that slosher is able to cap with the assistance of their teammates. That crew are going to be coming out at a good time for them to move up here, as Self-Care is playing the I have a better wall game.
And I like how Self-Care is staying back here with their slosher, who the slosher can't get up there. Kind of the counterpoint to, well, you can't retreat. Well, it's more difficult for them to get up to your flat as well, but still staying in a situation where you can get a 2v1 fight anyways. There's now more players that have a difficulty. Just going to have to maybe jump into this bubbler, except not. Now the time is going to be running out. Crack and Cheese, though, works out really well on this map. That's going to at least keep Bear in the game.
Yeah, Bear is able to hang on for a little bit longer. They do have quite a bit of penalty to move through here if they want to capture this lead, so capping at this point in time is going to be very integral for them. Though, ironically, that's just going to be sketch left in mid. And hey, look, they weren't able to back up. I'm such a hater.
Out.
They were trying to, but
yeah.
Hey, would have been better to back up, wouldn't it? Especially when it's like the spawn is like 30 miles away.
It could be. You know, that is the point I didn't realize until you just pointed out. So now every time I do commentary on this map going forward, I'm going to bring it up, and I'm never going to credit you as to where I got that information from. Lucy Lover does not get the splat on that. What was the point of the hands then? The hands, I thought the hands would get up top there, but still, regardless, Bear is able to flip it back into their favor yet again.
Yeah, they really did not catch those hands. I am actually surprised by that. But I've been seeing a bit more splashdown jank recently, which I'm kind of supportive of, because I miss when you used to be able to do something about that special.
Could, yeah, and now it seemed like, oh, it's an automatic trade now, even if you cancel it with your hands. But there's been some times where it's like, I don't think those things are actually working the way they're supposed to. Penalty points gone. Bear in a good position to keep players away from the zone. That splashdown is going to connect on the splat before the killer whale can come out there, but Lucy Lover can't get back to the zone. Can they outpaint this pencil in the next 3 seconds? Self-Care wins the fight against Sketch, but they can't outpaint the Reef Slider that just attacks the zone and auto-caps it into their favor. Bear steals game 1.
Wow, Bear barely making it out of Bear. I was gonna say barely, but like I just, I thought about bears for a second.
Bear barely barrels their way through game 1, using their bared arms for weapons.
I can't bear to see them lose another game.
Well, freakytown would love to see a couple of those L's come their way as we move on to the next game right there. But yeah, okay, so referencing yet again information somebody gave to us in the IPL chat who did testing on the Reef Slider, the what is this, museum? And what does the thumbnail for museum look like? Oh gosh, I hate how they use purple and yellow for every single thumbnail of these maps. It's hard to find it. I can't find it.
You just hate the colorblind, don't you?
I'm not a fan of the when like tournaments use purple and yellow for like every single set on stream.
Someone
just so they don't have to change it
and just crop out when you pause and you're like, I'm not a fan after I ask you if you hate the colorblind.
My brother is red-green colorblind, and I like him.
Because he's your brother.
Yep. Like, regardless, moving on. What is this? Mako Mark? Crack and Cheese definitely works here. you just kind of like collide into that paintball thing in mid. And they are still using it. Reasons with the Tetra.
Ooh. That was not me shading them. I really had to yawn. So very early on, freakytown gonna get 2 picks on a bear pair with that cooler coming out for them, but I don't think too many people, if anyone, was able to really get that cooler there. Lucy Lover gonna be trying to finish off that kill against Ian Shea there, is able to get that and pop that hammer just in time to get Reasons as well, is gonna toss that over their snipe and move on to take that fight onto the right side with their teammates.
Bear's going to be happy that they can use this map because Carbon works out really well here. The problem is the Carbon player is having a lot of difficulty getting set up, losing that 1v1 fight to the Wiper initially, and now having the luxury to get down the zone. I don't think they realize there's Self-Care going to be attacking them, but they defeat Self-Care and instead start to capture control of the flat. One more player going down. They've got 2 for the side of freakytown, and Bear right back in this one.
Yeah, Bear able to cap that zone and finally get their foot in the door for this game. As you can see there, a lot of them now pushing up. Reasons getting up onto their bottom or right side. Doesn't really have that re-slider to cheese them if they need to, but nevertheless is going to be quite the nuisance for them there, even if they do go down without a trade.
Lucy Lover is getting into some of these fights and walking away from them. They got into a sword battle with the Carbon and won that one. The Tetra player landed a couple of shots, not enough. So the Wiper doing a good job of staying alive and winning some of these 1v1 fights right now and able to get Liam Lover set up on the right side right there, starting to get attacked by the enemy Gal as Self-Care is going over there to defend. I like the spacing and the sprinkler floating in mid-air because we can't see it from the overhead range.
Yeah, I really like the positions that they've been taking so far in this game. They're dealing with a very low penalty right now, so Self-Care are going to play a little bit risky and have that pay off for them with that double. Is going to be moving up on that left side there. Does get the trade ultimately and takes out Reasons, but that's just going to be greater than O trying to get back onto zone there. That re-slider is going to be coming out. Not going to do anything for that zone that's already capped there, but that once again gets Bear in a position to be pushing up.
There has to be some sort of clever pun with Self-Care splatting Reasons, but I can't find up with something right off the top of my head. Regardless, though, they're going to need more re-sliders if they want to find ways to get back into this one. Cheese really works out great when you've got the huge lead like freakytown does. But right now, you got to find ways to get some lockout things going, and that's been the story so far. The Carbon player having a lot of difficulty getting set up just because freakytown's doing such a good job of controlling the spaces they've been captured.
Yeah, I agree with you there. You can see that they've really taken up a lot of area here. And even though they have the zone capped, it feels like they have their backs up against the wall, and they still didn't quite lose out in that fight. And now you do see Flow State kind of waiting out for other members of Bear to see if they approach them at all. Those strikes are going to be coming out just in time to hold the zone till that counter reaches 0, as you could see them running basically right on top of it at the same time. And that kind of caught me a bit by surprise. I'm going to be honest there with you. I didn't realize that counter had gotten so close there. But that's the thing with Mako zones, is you basically also have to be micromanaging that timer, because I don't know what it is, but it just feels like it sneaks up on you like nothing else.
It seemed like Bear was going to find a way to get back into that one. They were winning a couple of fights, mainly on the left side of the map, but just the ink strikes coming out at just the perfect time. The GG special thrown onto the zone, able to be just enough to make sure that freakytown got the KO when they needed it. Oh, and this is actually the end of the thing here. Yeah, Reasons combined with the Carbon Roller getting a lot of splats on these left sides. But yeah, Flow State just controlling the right side. And Sketch was never in a position to fully like put down a whole lot of onto the zone to where nobody else already was. So yeah, just kind of the perfect timing right there to close it up.
Definitely. So I mean, decent chance here that we might just go to game 5. Yahoo!
Well, that I mean that'd be fine if that were to happen.
It
I
would
don't
be
think that would
fine.
slow things down anywhere. It might.
I think it would, because we were waiting for so long. We were talking about like meatballs and
Well,
TOing.
So it doesn't matter because bracketology here. The loser side is at a situation to where they don't need another team to lose. Well, I mean, the loser of this one will immediately play, but they have another after we lose this one or win this one, we play another team that's already lost. So, like, in theory, this wouldn't slow down the entire tournament too much if it went to a game 5.
Okay.
But, which, as the TO, is literally the only thing I care about. When is this going to be done? Which, and for players, you know, you care about it too. But also, if you're playing the set, you want the set to be, you want to play in a good set.
Yeah, that's also true. I mean, I'm gonna say this real quick. This is kind of shady of me, but sometimes if I wanted to speed up the stream for low tide, I would just put a high seed against a low seed, just so we would catch up and not go behind.
Oh, that's a leak. Now I got to go back and look at every single time and try to guess when did Siren try to
Speed up the tournament stream.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yep. All right. Well,
Hey.
we're seeing a decaf.
We got a sword.
Yeah. Do you support this?
Okay, so when that weapon first came out, everyone was like, this is the most broken thing on planet Earth, and nobody used it in tournaments ever. This is the bubbler one, and I feel like the inkjet one would have been more fun if there's find a way, but bubbler's just so good, especially if you can find ways to use it in certain spots offensively. But it really just comes down to, well, actually, this is the roller player, I believe, who's been using it. So they dropped the roller in favor of this. And actually, this is the third different weapon they've used in this mini game. So it could just be, I don't like using roller on this one. Let's break out the toothbrush and try to get some splats with that thing.
Yeah, I can see it, and I think it's a similar enough play style where it's easy enough to sort of adapt between both of those weapons. But with that reef slider is going to get popped onto the zone, but it doesn't seem like it was a cap for a little bit there. We're now finally getting Bear's cap, and very narrow lead for freakytown actually right now. This kind of just becomes a bit of a bloodbath, if I do say.
So they use the bubbler defensively. That controls the left side of it. And since they don't have control, that means they can get over to the right side and start. So the bubbler can be used in ways to just kind of like control certain spaces and kind of force other opponents. Because you don't want to get into a bubbler and fight the toothbrush. Like, that doesn't seem like a winning situation in that kind of space at all. So some good ways you can use it defensively on top of the zone other than the toothbrush.
Yeah, Reason's getting a pick on his self-care there while Flowstay is able to clean that up a little bit. We are starting to see them try and contest the zone a little bit here. 3 members on the side of Bear taking top mid, but that Tetch was using that as an opportunity to run forward into their plat, and that's going to be a hold for a little bit longer for freakytown here.
Freakytown. The halfway point. Hey, there's a bomb right there. Unfortunate running into that, and that is going to be freakytown getting control of things. So self-care has been playing really great this entire set so far, being very aggressive, knowing kind of how to stay alive on the enemy side of the map until they run into a wall right there. Unfortunate timing of that, but freakytown does get rid of their penalty.
Yeah, I mean, decav on that zone is just going to play goalie here. Able to cover some spots up and just spot that splash ball on the side of that, the right side of zone there. They are able to take out Liam Lover, but it's just going to be 2 swords like shooting at their max range in front of each other. That's true beauty. I love nature.
That's like when you're in the swimming pool and you both have those noodles. And like you got water on the noodles and you just try to like fling it at each other. You just do that until somebody gets splattered and ultimately worked out as Bear's favor there. Hey, they're almost down penalty points too.
You ever like fill your noodle with water and then you like put your mouth in the other end and just blow at them?
Like a whale? Yeah.
That's
Then you've just reached the end of the pool noodle fun. It's like, okay, I've done everything I can do with this thing. Why do I have it? Toothbrush getting a nice trade up top there. The hammer's not going to be enough to paint the zone. It's certainly not going to be enough to overcome the reef slider. Game goes to Bear.
Good job, Bear.
Bear. Wee Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. We do be bear and bears.
Yeah.
I can't think of any more bear puns. I choose the bear.
It's fair, completely fair choice to make as
Yeah.
well. I would assume you would choose two bears, if it even came down to it, possibly, which is what's being presented right here. I would choose a bear over a freaky town any day of the week, for sure.
Maybe not every day.
Okay, well, on a Sunday afternoon, definitely.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I'd feel safer with the bear.
So Bear pairs up 2-1 in this best of 5 set. Game 4 is going to be Splat Zones at Humpback Pump Track. This was the map where FT1 realized, wait a minute, if we use PG Aerospray and throw like 20 Booyah Bombs, we just win. And then somebody else was like, well, what if you just replace Booyah Bombs with missiles? And they're like, oh, that works out really great as well. Now, I haven't seen a lot of this in Splatoon 3 because it sucks, but
Wow.
I'm curious what the current cheese meta is for something like this. I would assume. Oh, Ink Strikes? Is that what the little birdie in my ear just said? Or did I just come up with that off the top of my head myself?
I didn't hear anything, Popkin. I think that was. I think you might be getting a bit old. But
I am. That is happening.
Yeah, strikes are pretty common here, I would say. I don't think this is like a popular strat or cheesy at all, but I played against Damp on this like a couple weeks ago, and they played Paintbrush, and I hated it. It just reaches everything on this map. So pretty much anything with like a good fall off potential is still going to be meta here. It's freaking Humpback. Like, what are you doing if you're playing a gun here?
Roller always good on this map in general, regardless of the so yeah, finally good. I can get rid of this tooth brush and go back to the weapon I probably wanted to use all along. There does not hold on to control the zone. Blaster with Lucy Lover. The splashdown, trying to get the splat before those Ink Strikes or Zuka come out as my heart is exploding.
Oh, I'm sorry, Grandpa.
We're good.
Okay. That would have been a great cast if he passed away during.
So I just died on stream.
Yeah.
That helped the viewership, wouldn't it?
Yeah. We could get like a Wikipedia article that would blow Splatoon in popularity.
I'm not willing to sacrifice myself for the popularity of this, especially not Humpback Zones. I can go out on a better map for this for sure. Nice splat there.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, well, that's an interesting interaction. We both have iframe. That reef slider gonna go out underneath of that splashdown. Maybe that's how I have to counter it. But those strikes are gonna be able to help cap the zone while taking out reasons at the same time. And that's great because you don't really want to be thinking about, okay, where's the Tetra sitting right now? That's a very nice, I guess, mind clearing thing to do. But self-care here is going to get themselves in a bit of a pickle on that right side there, which is kind of the playstyle you want to be taking. You want to know where everyone is by tormenting them.
And the bubbler that is going to be ready to be used right here does actually get used into the zone. They've buffed that thing twice to the extent of like they're trying to force it into the meta, I think, but still players aren't really receptive to that. Like, yeah, Splatoon Lily's going to use it no matter what, I get that, but we haven't seen Bubbler being used a whole heck of a lot, unless it's just something you naturally kind of use already. I just don't know how it affects. It affects Zuka a lot. There's no Zukas on the side of Freaky Town, so I wonder if it does like a better job against Ink Strikes or Killer Whale or something like that, because it does do a lot of things, but the problem is you just got to get you going to use it. What they're trying to do right.
I don't think you necessarily have to get Zone to use Bubbler. I think it has a lot of, like you said, it has. And if only Splatoon Lilies are using Bubbler, I guess I'm Splatoon Lilies.
Well, what's the I forget who said it, but someone's like, how come every TO is just a junior main? And it's like, well, not every TO is a junior, but I guess
Mm,
the vast majority of them kind of are. So fair enough. But regardless, okay, you don't want to have to be burning your bubbler on your own side of the map at least. I mean, yeah, I can help you like get back into zone, I guess, but
yeah.
you'd rather have to use it. It was a lot more effective when they could
Not
find
in
ways to get up
zones, at
there.
least. You don't
Yeah.
want to use it on your side. And maybe like Rainmaker or Tower, I might use it to just block off an area, especially on this map. But Bubbler, yeah, it's got a lot of uses. I think that's kind of what makes it like you see it so often is just that it can be used in almost any scenario in game. So with things like this, I was playing against Ali last night, and you personally know what Ali is like as a Tetra player, right? So it's like you pop that bubbler because I just want to summon her. Like if I don't know where Allie is, like I will pop that bubble. It's just things like that. It causes people to want to fight you. They want to get rid of the bubble. You can control areas a lot easier. Sometimes it's just an ink tank refill, and sometimes it's like, all right, I'm gonna cover up the zone from your main entry point, so you can't even paint it yourself.
I've
So
played I've played against Allie since 2018, and I found Allie to be a lot more enjoyable when they're on my team versus the other side. But yeah, good Tetra players are really, really annoying to go up against as Reasons is trying to get attacked on the left side. They are marked though, and Lucy Lover says that's good for me because I can probably find ways to get these chip damage splats on top of you. I Heart O not going to be surviving much long going down to that pit on the left side over there. Finally gets splattered on top of that. It's just the pencil left alive, freaking down. Good finding ways back into things. Well, unless everybody jumped to the pencil real quick.
yeah, I think we were a little absorbed with that bubble there, wink wink. So did have to slow down a little bit for that and take care of that first, because when you do have something like a decavitator that you're dealing with, you know they're going to do the cheesiest thing and jump into that bubble and try and get a kill or a trade or something like that just off of rip. So it's finally a moment for freakytown to push up here. Flow State getting picked off by Sketch around that block there, as we do see Lucy Lover kind of watching these extra angles that the other members of Bear Bear can come out of, but getting bailed out very quickly by that charger as it looks like they're starting to recognize the areas in which they're coming from here.
I saw Eevee in a that wall's not going to help you that much over a slosher. But I saw Eevee using Decapitator on this map and mode before as well, where they would traditionally use Carbon or something else on like every other mode. So I wonder if just Decapitator in general in this map and mode has become a favorite of 2 Plus players. But look, okay, so there we go. Reef Slider's cheese didn't really work right there. Didn't even install the zone. Maybe just to come at the right angle, but that's not going to save Bear Bears just yet, although the bubbler on the zone does allow Reasons to hop right back into the action and control the backside of it. Bear Bear stays alive.
Yeah, Bear Bear able to stick alive a little bit longer here. That does give them another chance here, but once that penalty is up for the members of Freakytown, it's not going to be easy for them to get back in here. You can see them kind of holding on to their specials, those strikes at the ready there. They're waiting for Bear Bear to approach them because they do know they have the upper hand right now. So Slosh are going to be popping those strikes as the members of Bear Bear try to get back in his zone there. You can see Flow State was very well prepared for it, is able to get these picks, and is probably going to camp this jump as well here too. I mean, just everything's getting thrown at that poor person. That was a little overkill, guys. You need to chill.
That's the worst when you're jumping to somebody who's jumping out and you're just like, oh no, this was a bad idea. Especially when that player's jumping out with only like 20 seconds left in the game, because you know they're only doing it because like, okay, well, I need to go back with the rest of my teammates and we make a final push. And it's like, oh, well, I thought we were making that final desperation push right now. So a little bit of miscommunication right there, fumbled the end of that set for Bear Bear as Freakytown takes advantage of it and they win the set. Moving on to winners finals. Is that where we're at right now? No, semifinals.
There's no way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's chill, guys. Okay, there's 3 of you there. Did we really need to pop the splash down?
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
literally 3 of them all on that jump. I mean, I guess it would have been really bad if it was like decav and they already have like a slosh when they or like a charge when they come down and they just destroyed 2 of them, but even then, come on.
Well, maybe they just recognized, which was the correct recognition, that the game was over when that player jumped out and the other one jumped in, because it's like, okay, there's no way with
Yeah,
the
with the
time that's left they're
timer.
gonna get. So, who's gonna get the better stats? A, I want to pop my special so that it looks like I use more specials, and B, I want to get the pure splat so that nobody goes on and be like, "Oh, you actually got all these assists. Those aren't actual real splats. You didn't really do anything." So, maybe that's
Whose
there's a lot of
voice is that?
that's everyone's voice. That's not me. Have you not listened to people before? That's exactly
Never.
what people sound like. To a T.
That's what you sound like.
Well, when I make that voice, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Right there.
So everyone but you when you're not doing that voice.
Why does Brush say you're live on Splatoon Tourney right now?
Say I'm live?
They say, oh, well, Splatoon Tourney's going on right now, DivX Finals. Are you commentating a Ludi set
I
tonight?
already did DivX finals. That was
Oh. Okay, so they didn't.
Did they just retweet that or something? What's
know.
happening? Brush, why are
Brush
you
is being-
lying?
Brush. Well, first off, Brush would never lie.
Oh.
He'd just be misinformed, which is the.
Brush would lie.
Shoutouts to Brush and Fusion, who are going to be taking over after this set. We got one more. Shoutouts to PJ, who has been asleep this entire time. And hopefully will stay down for another 30 minutes or so. That would be awesome. But if not, then you can just solo the rest of that set, which is fine.
Oh, awesome.
You like doing that.
Okay, apparently, so Brush says that they're airing reruns on Tourney, like Splatoon Tourney. So that's how I'm
about that?
commentating both at the same. You do lie, Brush. That's you're the
Again,
biggest liar I've ever met.
I don't think Brush lies. I think Brush is just consistently misinformed. And it spreads misinformation.
I feel like if Brush wanted like just in running low tide, like if Brush wanted to do something silly with the bracket, I feel like he'd be the type to like just sneak it in and then not say anything.
Is this about the tiebreaker thing?
No, that was all coordinated, don't worry.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Brush would lie though. See, he's lying and saying he would never lie, but be real.
I believe in Brush.
Everyone lies every once in a while, but like it doesn't have to be a serious lie.
That's not true. Brush never lies. I wish one of these teams would lie about their name. So we got 2 pickups going on right now. One team we've already streamed, nameless name nomnomnom. The other team was the most last-minute pickup name. Now, it used to be on Proving Grounds. Whenever people had names like this that were just dumb pickup names, we would change them. Historically to Legends of the Hidden Temple names that they would always give those like kids, like the red jaguars, the silver snakes, the purple parrots, the blue iguanas, I believe, or the orange iguanas, I think. We stopped doing that. I don't know why. I think we just forgot to do it. Nobody ever complained. Nobody was like, no, I want to be named the most last minute pickup. Please, why would you change my name? Like, no one ever got upset about that. We need to bring that back because this is not acceptable.
Well, I think we need to start like let's just start changing people's names if they have inappropriate names. Not like necessarily just goofy ones like this, just inappropriate names. So like the most embarrassing thing you can think of.
The most last minute pickup is inappropriate to me.
Is it?
Yeah. As is nameless name nomnomnom.
I mean, I did steal little Timmy and the Splats for
You
a name
did.
change at a.
You didn't actually use that though, did you? I didn't see a team with that.
I changed it and then I told them to pick a new name.
Have you heard the story of Big Tommy in the Splats?
Big Tommy? No.
So there was 1 month we had to change 2 people's names in Low Ink. One of them we changed to Little Timmy, and we needed another one, so we're like, okay, well let's go with Big Tommy. And the team we named Big Tommy, they liked it so much they kept it, and now that's just their team name, and they sign up in every tournament with that name. It's like, no, that was supposed to be a punishment. You weren't supposed to like it, so now they just use it forever, and we're just out of the luck with that.
They've
so.
reclaimed it. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think I don't think I want to say the name that I changed for Low Tide on the stream.
Oh wait, I think I remember.
I
What it was.
I'll type it in stream coordination.
Oh, good. So that
and then
way
you can
Rice
decide
be
because it's your
brought in.
stream. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's my stream, but yeah. I just don't feel like, you know what? I don't know if that's inappropriate or not, but I just don't like.
It's a reference to this.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. I knew what that was.
Okay. Well, some
Thank
people
you.
don't.
Well,
I think I had to
anyways.
explain it to Brush and Magic, and they were like, "I don't see nothing." Like, guys, please. that team had like a little girl on it, because I'd like talked to her mom when organizing the tournament, and you know, like she was like asking me like how to get spec passes for the whole family, like her whole family, like 5 kids, like everything, and I was not gonna let them have that name. And then they show up to the tournament, and their 12-year-old girl is on a team named that. I was like, you better change that name.
That's another thing about LANs, is that when you actually see people in person, you're like, oh, you're a teenager. I forget that, but like now that I see you, like, oh yeah, this is clearly like you're just, oh well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a teenager, but we have different perceptions of people online versus how they are. And maybe there's some people who look at me and be like, oh wow, you really are in your mid-30s. I can tell that now. It's like, oh well, that's kind of sucks. But by the way, in case you were wondering if we ever had to use 3 names in one tournament, the third one would be Mid Tammy in the Splats.
Mid Tammy?
Well, Little Timmy, Big Tommy, Mid Tammy.
Okay.
If you don't like it, we can just say Brush came up with that, and
I would say Giga Tammy would be better. Just go even bigger.
Giga Tammy. Well, okay. Yeah. Again, these are supposed to be punishments.
Yeah.
So not supposed
still
to...
Tammy.
Yeah, but I guess you're right. Tammy is kind of a
Big Tommy. Bursting Grandma? Dylan, you need to be stopped.
Go. Okay, so we got the bamboo back out yet again. By the way, that is the chump bamboo, and this appears to be a duck motif pickup. I don't even see which player Max might be. Max might be the standard player. I usually associate buckets with that player.
Yeah, I think that's a Splatoon 2 thing. I think we're a little Splatoon 2 pilled, but I think it's well within his arsenal. I think that is Max.
And there's just the Dylan player that used to do Belugas exclusively in Splatoon 2. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. They were on that team with Xylard, weren't they?
Who?
Xylard?
Xylard? I don't remember that one.
Oh, you don't? Oh, wow. I think he... Never mind. I can't talk to this right.
I can't remember everything here.
He used to go to, like, LANs. He's, like, this really tall guy with a beard.
Oh, yes! It's like Zillard.
Yes!
Yeah, I did bamboo a lot. I remember that.
I think he was on a team with him. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, because right now it is the most last-minute pickup name. Does their name not even fit in there, or was it just...
I guess it does.
They got lead.
They do have that lead. Name nomnomnom is finally capping that zone, moving up here a little bit. As you see 4 here up on that right side, trying to get something moving there, but is going to back up there as that soda gets released to the public. So Range Blaster is going to be moving up once again. We're still not seeing the Kraken variant, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
We haven't seen Kraken at all. Well, I mean, it's splat zones. I get it, but still, just an observation, not a requirement right here. Is number 4 able to get the splat on Kenshin for removing themselves back into the controller thing, so they can try to put some penalty points into this nameless name team. That's not going to happen. There's your wipeout. and Rice does a little celebration with the camera controls right there in favor of the blue team as they are now looking to get the KO with the lockout.
Yeah, Kenshin is spotting out the remaining 2 living players on the most last-minute pickup. You can see Kara trying to get that Zuka out onto the zone, but Kenshin narrowly avoiding it for long enough to get the pick onto Kara as well. It's just going to be 4 behind the zone, and those strikes are going to assist in that cap actually happening there for finally getting that cooler as they get their own counter bite.
We don't see a lot of Bamboo anymore just because it's just so outclassed and the kits on it aren't necessarily the greatest thing ever. But a really good Bamboo player is still, it's still cool for me to see. At least I don't know how other people feel about it. It just doesn't have a whole ton of a range and pencils just so good on it. But if you're really good with your accuracy, which you kind of need to be with that weapon or any, I guess any kind of shooter weapon that doesn't put down a whole heck of a lot of the paint, is still pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I like what you said just now. I'm gonna act like I wasn't just staring into the game blindly. Rain Blaster on the zone there as Go Offense pops that Izuka. That's going to be a cap once again in the favor of the nameless name nomnomnom. And as we roll into the last minute of the game here, obviously a knockout is going to be good for them, but I can definitely sense that they're going to be wanting to play this a bit more in the defensive state, where they're not too worried about, you know, running out of their base and getting a wipeout and all this stuff, where they can just sort of sit back, relax, and not play too risky, which didn't quite pay off for them entirely there, but they're still in a great position to just keep getting one-off caps and just do that for the remaining 55 seconds of the game.
Great position right now, though, for the most last-minute pickup to try to get the lead into their favor, but they surrender control of this left stack, and nameless nomnom is just more than happy to take control of it. But it was a trap! Oh, you got lured into a bunch of bombs and exploded on top of it, and that should be enough to get the KO into the favor of the yellow pickup team name. And yeah, they're not even going to get much close right there. They're coming from E-strikes just to cap it off for sure. They sacrificed control of the right stack. Nameless name said, okay, we'll just take it, and then they all got exploded on top of it. Did you pay attention to that, or did you zone off yet again?
Awesome fish.
I made great point. Fish?
I agree.
What fish are you looking at?
I was actually just reading the titles screen.
Oh. Okay.
They have some very cursed ones there. Okay, now I can see the yay gameplay.
Yes. So they went over here on this left stack, able to throw the bombs on one side, which forces them along the wall on the opposite side, where Kara was able to mow them down, get the lead. GG go next.
GG go next.
GG go next.
They win?
They did.
They win.
Yeah. Yes. The most last minute pickup, who I believe was the number 1 seed, is the number 1 overall seed. Yeah.
That was kind of close for them, low key. Like, I did not anticipate them winning that one. But here we are. So they do have some more work to be done.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Splatzone's Mahi too, Loki.
Splatzone's Mahi Resort.
I like it, but I don't like it at all.
Okay, but this is another one of those maps where... Okay, so map... This isn't a tournament where we made the map pool, but in tournaments where you do make the map pool, this is one of the few ones you can put in there where most people won't complain about it. And at that point, that is a dub.
I won't complain while I'm playing, but I will on the mic.
Will you complain if you win?
No, and I don't complain if I lose either. I just complain in general because I don't like... I know that the whole thing is the water mechanic on the map, but it's just like... Yes. Sometimes if you just lose that first fight, it's just like... I'm just gonna, like, wait until we actually have map.
Well, when this one, I think there's a lot of value to having control of the map when it lowers down. Mm-hmm. Just so you can, like, gather up all that kind of free real estate right there to build up some specials on top of things. But here comes some chumps out of nowhere that I'm sure are annoying to somebody. But on top of it is the Ink Strikes and the Zukas coming out. No go offense. Right now, currently having no offense as they try to stay alive in this one little spot right here. And number 4 might have sharked them out.
Yeah, that was a dangerous game they were playing there. They were not going to be able to shark that forever, so they did have to take a fight there no matter what, but didn't quite play out for them the way they may have hoped or planned. Though 26 seconds left on the board there, Maxime's going to be popping that cooler. They really only have one more chance to get back into the zone. One team member on either side does go down, but that is a very quick cap in favor of nameless name nomnomnom.
A bear cap went into their favor right there since Blaster was able to get a splat followed up. Okay, so now it's not just a cap. Now it is an actual lockout situation. An opportunity to put some points up on the board. Go offense! Let's go! But here come the Ink Strikes onto the zone. Throwing all threes enough to stall it out, but not following up with literally anything is not going to really do them any favors unless Kara can make some side of a heck of a play, which they do. Kara not getting any splats, but at least forced everybody into hiding, it seemed like, so they could just pin around the last couple of spots. So somehow that Ink Strike play worked.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that things worked out the way they did here, but Kara is going to be trying to get behind them here, does force Kenshin to, turn their attention away from that zone there, which did have the chumps on it. Looks like they were going to try and get a cap there, but Kara doing a great job at slowing things down for their opponents. Maxime going to be pushing up here on that right side. They're dealing with a very short penalty here, so this is the time in the game where they're going to be wanting to move a little bit further up, but it doesn't quite seem like they're able to break through this right area here. I'm sensing a lot of, like, hesitation here. I don't know if you feel the same way.
I just realized why they're throwing Ink Strikes without anybody else going on top of things. Although they did zip cast at the same time as that as well. Because that Neo Splash is now it's the hottest thing in Splat Zone technology in the community as of like, so you can just throw it and then immediately get the next one's ready to go and throw on top of that. Last minute pickup, able to get control of the zone yet again. Now starting to push up. The only thing in their way be chumps coming out any second.
Yeah, playing a bit of a dangerous game here with that range blaster there as Max does run up into their spawn. Is going to pop that zip cast as well. They see that they have some pretty low penalty here, so they can be a bit reckless with that zip cast and still get some sort of benefit from it, which they do. We're almost looking at that 10-second point margin here, but Kenshin's going to have to take a difficult fight here on that left side if they want any chance at retrieving this zone here. There's that Pencil who's very comfortably situated on top of it, so with 1 second to go, that is going to be a knockout with no cap onto the side of nameless name nomnomnom.
No cap, meaning you are telling the truth, and yet you are. That was a knockout 2-0 in the last minute pickup. One game away from punching their ticket to winners finals, which they were seeded to do so as the #1 seed right here. Ink Strikes go burr, and well, eventually you can combine them with things, or sometimes you can't. But as long as you just keep throwing them onto the zone, eventually good things are going to happen.
Yeah, soon enough. Yeah, I'll be so honest, and this is how I feel. Maybe this is similar to the decaf thing, like where people were saying it's busted, but I like it. Just no one plays it. I kind of feel that way about Neo Splash. Like I love my boy Chara. He made a whole like video and he was talking about how good Neo Splash is, but I don't see it that often at all. I don't know that many people who want to pick it or have it as like a preference or anything like that. Like, yeah, you can play it, but I don't know. I just don't think. I guess chat maybe can clown on me, but I just don't think strikes are as broken as people say.
Well, there's a lot of people that have been like, oh, it's really good. And then there's this other camp that's like, you guys are crazy. We kind of squashed Neo Splash a long time ago in favor of T-Tech. So, I mean, there's back and forth with that.
Sorry. I'm laughing at what Brush said. Teeny tummy splat.
Teeny weeny tummy and the splats?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is that a statement that would be made by somebody who constantly lies, as you pointed out? No.
I
Just
think a liar would say teeny weeny tummy at this point.
well, here's the thing. If you sign up for Low Ink in a non-inappropriate name, we won't have to bust that out. But that does feel like a punishment.
BRB
Which
signing up for low ink with an inappropriate name.
no, you're banned.
What are you
You're
gonna do? Splat
banned.
save me?
I could. No, I don't need
No,
that.
you
Handle it
can't.
myself. Handle it myself. I
Gonna
I
do a
could kick you out of
rescue.
Low Ink faster than you could say teeny weeny tiny splatoony weenie in the sploots or whatever.
Ew.
What are we? Hey, we don't have a. Okay, so here's my point about the Neo Splash. There's somebody who's gonna be like, oh, you don't see it at all in scrims or the Syndac Q sets nobody sees. Like it never happens in the like 20XX games. Game 5s, when it comes to splat zones, you see it a lot in game 5s. So I don't know if this is like the try-hard weapon or something. I don't know. The jury's still out on it, but it helped them get the win in that last game, so that's all that matters.
I guess so. You know, one win and a that, yeah.
I mean, I don't care. I don't have a dog in the fight either way. I don't. Winning's the only thing that matters.
Yeah. And we chose to try and do that with Super Chumps, so I mean it's questionable no matter how you look at it. Although this is kind of like the first cap we're seeing out of the most last-minute pickup this game, and I think they were kind of just waiting on this moment. Those specials are coming out finally for them. Dylan's got that cooler ready, he's got that Zuka, which I'm like surprised that he's been able to hold back this long, because if I'm coolered and I have a Zuka, I'm popping that thing just so that I know, like, if something happens, I'm gonna get my money back.
Well, they're enduring a lot of specials right here. Chomp's getting thrown in, Wavebreaker, and Zuka, and they still have control zone, and they still have that Zuka. No, they're gonna get splatted before they can even fire the thing. So, but if they get control zone right here, which it doesn't look like they are, and they being the most last-minute pickup team name, not the nameless name, nomnomnom team that just got control of the zone right here and looking to get a little bit penalty points.
Yeah, that slasher is going to be coming up on that left side again. It's once again going to be Kara playing like an absolute menace, trying to spot out someone. They clearly know that go offense is there, so able to finish that off, and Kara finally running into the spawn onto that right side there is probably going to end up in a collapse and take out Kenshin if they're not taken out themselves as well. So it's just going to be Snipes on the zone.
Snipes.
That's kind of
It's like plural. Yeah, well, it's a cool S. Is I
Okay.
believe what they're going with right there.
Chat confirmed. Anyway,
I
go
think
on.
it's cool. I think it's cool. And they're you know what's really cool? Not having penalty points and be able to push to get the lead right here. The question is, what kind of specials are going to be coming online? Here comes the Ink Strikes ready to go. And are they going to throw it onto the zone just yet? They're going to wait to get rid of a couple of players, and now here comes Ink Strikes with just one more player left alive. That's a trade, basically a delayed wipe right there. Most last-minute pickup holds on to the lead still.
Yeah, it's getting rather close within the set. It's got me a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, though. Dylan finally gonna be popping that Zuka. It matter. It's just gonna be go offense to left here to trade by themselves on that right side there. That cooler's gonna get popped once again. Everyone's getting a drink. And they do go down here, but that's okay because things came out just in time. Nameless name, nomnomnom, gonna be popping a cooler of their very own as they try to reclaim zone here. That Wavebreaker is gonna be coming out from that Range Blaster, but Range Blaster is all it's going to be here, and when it comes to zones, they don't really have the reputation for being able to cap them quite easily by themselves. So when it comes to having a shooter there and a Range Blaster, well, we're going to look away for a second and we're going to blink, and things are going to cap once again, giving them another chance here, but it was not looking very bright for them in that moment. They're very scary.
I might not be able to paint the zone well with my blaster, but I can take you out and prevent you from painting it. just long enough for my teammates to come right back in. The final minute here. Nameless name, nomnomnom, trying to force this into a game 4. Last minute pickup trying to get the KO. And it looked like they weren't going to, but then Azuka Stray lands onto the zone and splatting the player. And here comes some ink strikes on top of it as well. Dylan able to get a nice couple of splats right there. And they're still in this game in 30 seconds.
30 seconds left to go, but will that penalty be able to burn through faster? Who knows? I am not a mathematician. We're going to see the approach that they decide to take here. Kara is able to spot out the remaining members of Nameless Name Nom Nom Nom. As that whale comes out, you can see them closing in on it like a shark, but they don't even need that. That pencil's going to be taking it out on their very own as Kara claims that area of the map for themselves. 2 seconds left to go, and that's going to be pretty much a knockout timed at the very same time at the ending of the game, actually. I'm kind of want to see what the cat says here.
It comes down to the cat, and they say officially a KO. So that means they get an additional pat on the back, and plus their win on top of that as well. Now, my son did wake up. So, and we're done here with this set, and both these teams very likely could be on stream later. My question to you is, Siren, would this set have been infinitely better if both these teams had different names? One of them was the Red Jaguars, the other one was the Purple Parrots.
No, but I think it would be great if one of them was at least Teeny Weeny Tummy and the Splats versus Big Tommy. I would love that. We should just have one tournament one day where you force every team to have a dumb name like that, just like different variations of it.
I don't have to force them; they do it on their own.
No, I mean, like, that's the whole gimmick of the tournament. Just a normal tournament, but you just make them have the name Teeny Tummy and the Splats.
You did just describe a normal tournament.
I didn't. People have freedom of choice for the most part.
The illusion of free choice. A tournament with name restricting rules and a tournament without it both lead to the same path, which is we're having 2 pickups named after absolutely nothing. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Brush and Fusion are going to be coming up next. They're going to take you all the way home. Hopefully, I'm assuming Brush is definitely ready to go because Brush has been paying attention to the chat. Oh no, we're getting some heck okay, so maybe somebody, I don't know. Siren, where can people find you? IKEA?
Yes, IKEA and on Blue Sky. Those 2 things. Yes,
oh,
Siren
right.
Banshee. Somebody already followed me partway through the stream, so I'm assuming y'all are already doing this, so this is great.
And you can find me watching PJ stomp around the house for another 3 hours before it's bath day. So bath time and then Betty bye after getting a baba. So we're gonna do all that. Thank you, Rice, for this. Shout out to Lily, tummy ache survivor so far, and all that other stuff. I'm leaving. You can do whatever.
Yippee! Okay, I'm gonna go bother Brush and his teeny tummy. Alright, bye-bye.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Proving Grounds 35. I'm Fusion, joined here by Brush. We're going to be bringing you the rest of this tournament, starting with winners finals. Most last minute pickup versus Bad Piggies, who we just saw last minute pickup on stream, I do believe. How are you today, Brush?
I'm doing great. You know, it's so good to see an actual team name in this tournament. Every once in a while, you're like, you know what, I can get behind some Bad Piggies. Most last minute pickup, you know what, whatever. Have your 5 minutes. I always wanted, because there was that era Fusion where all the top level teams were just calling themselves pickup with variations of capitalization. I always wanted to see a team be called pickup versus pickup, just to make everyone's life more difficult. Never saw that though.
That's definitely happened. I don't think I casted it, but I think I watched it happen at some point.
I feel like I've seen pickup actually versus pickup. I've never seen a team name.
Pickup actually, or something like
yeah, whatever it is.
Something like that.
Well, hey, this is what we get for casting top level Splatoon or high level Splatoon. You know, where the team names don't matter and the points are made up.
Whose zone is it anyways? We'll find out. Bad Zone's Umami. Last minute pickup, Dill, Kaisa, Snipes, Max Kara. A lot of very strong players. I'm a little bit less familiar with Bad Piggies, I guess, individually. Sabiano, Phantom, Mechanical Cats, Tickle, but they were Div 2 this season in Ludi. A very strong performance. I think that they've been doing well enough in this tournament to certainly outplace what their div would say of them. They're doing very well, and we'll see if they're able to carry their momentum here on Umami zones.
You've had your ear closer to what's going on in Ludi this season. I feel like there's always this conversation of after the first 2 weeks or whatever, does your div really matter? And I think we see that carry over into tournaments, and ultimately, okay, win your Ludi set or season, that's pretty cool. But hey, win your Proving Grounds on a Sunday morning, you know.
The number is helpful when you're not super duper familiar with everybody. Running some funky stuff here. We got the Sploosh-O-Matic and the S-Blast. S-Blast getting that recent fire rate buff. Unfortunately, going down nearly immediately to most last minute pickup. Most last minute still just on the aggression here. The strikes opening the way. Strikes have been so popular as of late as an entry tool. Neo Splash, a big player in that. Most last minute pickup getting all the way in, but my god, running 4 members straight into that Ink Zuka. Bad Piggies getting their revenge and getting the zone back.
So hard to be a Sploosh-O-Matic. I mean, it's always been hard. But when you have that hammer, you're playing this very rack gameplay. It's just watching your special gauge and when can you move forward. Same for this Platana there, as we saw. But ultimately, you gotta prioritize your life, and so going 2 down like that in this lockout means that only been in the game we've seen the zone flip twice, and it's Pickup who's looking to get once again back into the zone though. Special stall.
Yeah, doing a great job holding most last minute pickup. Really was kind of gunning for the lockout before they really had the big advantage there. Now taking it a little bit slower. They're able to find 3 picks. S-Plus finds 1 on top. They find a second, a third. They're eyeing up that 4th, but up to give jumps to their team. Nice job coming out from Cat here. Bad Piggies going to take back the zone and continue their hold off of that incredible play from the S-Block.
What a way to transition off of the back foot and find your momentum forward. It only takes 1 big play, a couple big picks, and if you can stay smart, right, not charging forward, keeping your life, your team's going to jump in and you're going to be back to, in this case, a neutral, but, keeping the momentum forward.
Yeah, most last minute still locked into their spawn, making their way out. Their timer is ticking down. They do find 3 picks again on Bad Piggies. It seems like they're having a relatively easy time with team pushes, but have not been able to hold just yet. They have 2 specials now. This is a big opportunity for them. It's going to be Max moving forward towards the enemy base. The hammer is going to scare him out. Now it's going to be a trade on either side. Both teams still fighting for the zone here. 3v3 situation. The hammer is going to open the way, and my god, 2 more picks. Actually, Pickup's had so much difficulty dealing with that Wiper's hammer so far, coming out in the most inopportune moments for them. Bad Piggies back in control.
it's a toss-up, right? Whether or not a 2-for-1 deal like that with your hammer is worthwhile. You're gonna get the 2 picks, but going down in the process sort of risks momentum shifting back. But ultimately, as you called out, Bad Piggies with that hammer have been able to really capitalize on those 2-for-1 deals with the Splatana going down in the process, and that's all you can hope for is hold on to the zone and keep pushing forward.
Absolutely. We see the Squeezer over on the left side. They have Cooler at the ready. They're trying to chase down this hammer, unable to find it. This, I think, is a pretty dang good map for that hammer. I think that that's Sabayano on the Splatoon. They've been able to get a lot of work done so far, but last minute pickup in control now. No more penalty remaining. Bad Piggies needs to get back into the zone. Not too many entry specials to do it. We'll see what happens. The Zuka comes out. It doesn't find a pick. That's going to be dealt with a pick on from the Squeezer. That's going to be 2 down onto Bad Piggies. Pickup is going to remain in control and likely take the lead here. Nice plays. That's going to be Bad Piggies still stuck in spawn. The Zipcaster being a little bit funny on that side, not able to find anything. And we're coming down to the last minutes of the game. Is 3 of 4 wipeout onto Bad Piggies.
And that's the first wipeout really of this game, and it's going to come at a really opportunistic time for pickup with 20 ticks left on the timer. But what a great job dealing with specials there, finding that pick really early on that Zuka is going to mean that there was only one special left. It was only that hammer. The hammer had nothing to move forward with, no longer any sort of special or paint control with the Zuka backup, and it was just one after another from that point in the desync. A little Zipcaster distraction on the side. Ultimately a knockout from pickup in game 1 here.
Yeah, Bad Piggies looked very strong. Last minute pickup, I feel like, just ended up coming off a little bit more consistent. They were able to get back into the zone thanks to, I guess, the strikes that were consistently coming out. Coolers giving them consistent respawns. Bad Piggies certainly had a lot of momentum off big plays from the Splatoon and the S-Blaster, and the Wiper too, actually. They were running that double hammer. So yes. A lot of good ways to kind of scrap in like narrow hallways. Not so many good ways to get back in once you're locked into spawn. Last minute pickup. Going to take that game 1, come out to an early advantage in the set.
And that's sort of the momentum we've been seeing from them in the last couple sets on stream, right? Is just this very aggressive hold forward gameplay. And Bad Piggies, have been on the same winning streak themselves. Now faced with this sort of this in your face aggression, not to be repetitive, but on maybe a more wide map that we're gonna look towards later in this set, those hammers are gonna have less fun. But flexing around is always possible. Ship Shape, I think, on the other hand, again, one of these close quarter maps, I can see these hammers being very strong here.
Yeah, it's like, it's a map where hammers can do so much work from the zone, trying to push through there. But once you're in spawn, like, once you're locked into spawn, you're not going to be able to get in so easily without one of those dedicated displacement specials, something like strikes or rain. Zuka can somewhat work to do it. It's just so hard when you have such a short range team composition and you're facing down the sniper raider on the other team. Nothing to contest that range. I don't know what Bad Piggies has been running besides what we just saw, but they're certainly going to have some difficulties if they end up getting wiped again. And that was a kind of consistent thing that game. They ended up going 3 down or getting full wiped nearly every time they lost the zone. We'll see if they're able to improve that here. Same stuff coming out from pickup. It's going to be strikes coming out on the side of Bad Piggies, opting for that displacement.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for that S-Blast to get that booyah, just the nature of being a blaster, but again, another displacement special as you called out, and a lot of reliance on the Zuka from last time. You're right, the strikes are going to help a lot with that and allow them to move forward. A lot of strikes are coming out from Pit last minute to go first.
Oh my god. It's going to be the Stamper over the top, not able to find that direct. No one's close enough to hit with that quick splash. It's going to be a double team up there. And Bad Piggies is going to take control of the top, try and take control of the zone. Max on the Stamper ends up going down as well. Pickup falling behind early in the game yet again, but only going 1 or 2 members down in the process. They have specials at the ready. They're looking for an opportunity to get in. The Zuka does not find anyone. The cooler comes out. It's going to be Bad Piggies still in control of the zone, looking very calm and collected on this first hold.
Oh, what a great trade there for Bad Piggies, you know, faced with a shooter in your face again. Gosh, but hey, being able to hold on, find that trade means that you're going to be able to hold on to your advantage in the zone, and you're going to have to burn strikes here, last minute pickup, and they still can't find a way in. 34 ticks remaining for Bad Piggies.
Pickup still stuck. We see Squeezer in that corner, not able to get out so easily. Bazooka coming up with flanks. The timer is ticking down. Finally, the zone is neutralized. Pickup all turned around. The member in the pit is distracting them. Max using Zip Passer to try and get some leverage onto the zone. Wow, a paint is going to come out just in time. And Pickup's going to stay in this game, but Bad Piggies still has so much paint on the board, and yet another pick is going to let them snowball their control even further.
Great follow through from that wiper there on that last pick. That's going to be a lot of pressure to desync and keep last minute pickup on the back foot here. Lockout continuing, a very dangerous first push, and yeah, hey, it's this aggression. He's double stamped with a Bria bomb on the backup, and there's the combo. We see it once again, so great job holding forward and holding control in that case, though. Gonna go down early. Last minute pickup might have to wait.
Zuka, that looked like such a good shot, but not able to come up with anything. The hammer even blocking the second shot. The Zip Casters have yet to come up with too much value as of yet. Besides that ink refill, Max not able to find anything. The time's ticking down, and Bad Piggies is going to hang on. That was a pretty dominant game from them, and it is now 1-1. Bad Piggies showing some real signs of life here.
You know, I think a lot of people consider those strikes as just like an easy cap on this map. But Bad Piggies, their ability that, you know, the first when we hit 5 ticks, that first hold, last minute pickup used that sort of cheese and went down, but stayed in the game. But I mean, in that last couple frames, it was insane. The paint output from a team with a wiper and a blaster, that doesn't sound right out loud. But I guess when you're going up against a splash as your only real paint heavy weapon, it's gonna be easy to keep paint down even against specials. So great team play from Bad Piggies, ability to back up, recognize they need to just hold ZR on the zone, and there's the ink we're going to see fall down and hold on through these strikes in the last couple frames.
Yeah, Bad Piggies did not get locked out that game. They were in control of the zone pretty much the entire time. Could have been a different story if Pickup was able to really get in and find those picks, but they just didn't come out that time. They were fighting hard just to get into the zone. They couldn't deal with members of Bad Piggies on the flank, and I guess that's kind of what they're going for with the 2 hammer players. They have a Sploosh, they have a Wiper, both not weapons you want to fight at close range, so getting one of them into like the enemy pit, it's such a hard place to just kind of drop on, so you kind of need to ignore it and move forward. And last minute pickup was just not able to really find the picks while being like wary of that flank from the side. We'll see whether or not they find come up with anything different here on zones. Barnacle, because not so many like big pits to hide in here. Very flat map.
52 Gal gonna get subbed in on the side of Bad Piggies, but still with on the side of Pickup. So maybe wanting a little bit something to do with those hammers, those killer whales might do a little bit, but ultimately adding just a little bit of painting power is going to help them out. That's something they were struggling with last game. I don't want to hear anyone tell me the meta is stale after this.
Yeah, I mean, the meta feels like it has certainly opened up. There's been a wide variety of things in the past few months, but certainly I think a lot of the weapons on last minute pickup have been what we've been seeing recently. What Bad Piggies is bringing to the table is very unconventional, and they've been making it work so far. I feel like they've been making like real big plays on their own and coming up clutch in a lot of them. Last minute pickup has been very kind of patient playing as a team, and it feels like they just haven't quite gotten the big plays and I guess multi kills that they've wanted to really lock their games away. Bad Piggies though is going to be able to slowly push back into the zone, having a bit of a difficult time, but slowly getting the picks they need to at least get a bit of control. Pickup still alive, still kicking. They have a special on the line. They're ready to start coming back in, and here it comes.
Caster online for last minute pickup. They're going to be going straight into the face of a hammer, so that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. A pick on the backside though means that Thunderine with this Wiper is doing a great job distracting the last two. One of them will jump out, so a hold there in the zone though. Going down on the front lines is that Wiper, and what a great way to hold on to the timer here though. Now a 4v3 becomes a 3v3, and Bad Piggies holding on so strong in this game.
Booyah gets contested by the Ink Strikes. The Ink Strikes do come out very early, though. They go towards the left side and the zone, not clearing the stack. Yeah, they've been sitting there the whole game. Bad Piggies has just been in control of that, and that likely will be enough to seal the game. There's no way for last minute pickup to get there in time. Bad Piggies on the verge of making it to grand finals.
I didn't know Splooshamatics had architecture dually rolls. I mean, the way they were dancing there, how much swim speed up do you have, man? But hey, what a great way, getting in your face. You know that you have to get that close up if you're that Splooshomatic, and what a great way to capitalize on it and find the picks in the lockout situation. It pairs well with the hammer, as we said, right? Like that ability to get in your face and make something happen, but out of nowhere, you're gonna win a 2v1 no problem, especially when your team is chucking some bombs.
Yeah, last minute pickup, I think, they've been playing like really patient, and Bad Piggies has just been, pulling the trigger on their fights and just scrapping nearly immediately. I don't think last minute pickup has quite been ready for it. The 52 I do kind of like, but it felt like, I guess it felt like there wasn't really, it felt like most last minute pickup didn't have the tools, or at least didn't have the game plan for things running at you, especially when they have little invincibility, like shields, like those hammers pull out, because things like Squeezer or Stamper or Pencil, none of them really want to approach a hammer, like, whatsoever. That's something that you're probably leaving for, like, a shot. If anything. So last minute pickup, going to have to think about what they want to change going into Mahi Resort. This is a pretty big open map, so last minute pickup is certainly going to have a range advantage here.
Yeah, I heard Siren earlier on the mic though talking about, sometimes you lose that first team wipe and lose that first fight in the small version of the map. You gotta wait for the water. Well, I totally see a world where Bad Piggies comes out, they hold ZR, they get in last minute Pickup's face. Pickup has to play this stalled game, as you mentioned, right? Playing very passive, waiting for the right moment. But if Bad Piggies can keep up that pressure, keep getting in the face, keep making last minute Pickup burn one resource or another to stay alive, well, I see a KO possibility here.
So, okay.
Hey, a comp switch up gonna maybe work some magic.
Yeah, Wiper to contest that Wiper, and a shot coming out. Last minute pickup adjusting a bit, but kind of like we were saying, Hammer can certainly do a lot of work on lockout, especially under the snipe there. Dylan on that left side, they're going to be nearly get a pick, but not able to kill fast enough to get it cleanly, so they're going to end up getting double teamed here. 3 members going down. Bad Piggies storming forward towards the spawn of last minute pickup. Dylan going to find 2 picks to punish that aggression there, going down to a curling bomb as Bad Piggies is going to maintain control.
3v2 now in mid. Bad Piggies doing such a good job holding on in this opening frame. We're not even a minute in and our timer is halfway depleted, so that's a cap and no retaliation. Finally, last minute pickup will find a way through in a couple picks in the process, canceling that hammer nicely, forcing that S-Blast to jump out, but they're going to get canceled. So for the first time since that first game, we're seeing an aggressive last minute pickup and 1 splat, and he's going to follow through there with 75 tick.
That was a pick on the T-Tech. No cooler. That's going to be triple ink strikes, severely delayed. The Bazooka comes out and it finds one. Oh my god, and another comboed with that Wiper. This is a massive stagger pickup. Has done a lot of work this game. Bad Piggies is on the back foot. The hammer from under the ledge. It's going to be pulled out early, used as a Makeshift Zuka, not able to find anything though. Yet another Zuka online, this time from the splatter shot. Yeah, just like that, able to find the pick on the hammer super consistently. It's going to be last minute pickup, still maintaining control. 2 members down on Bad Piggies. Pickup looking to put this game away. The Booyah comes out on the zone. It's not a good painting tool, not enough to take it. Pickup comes back. It's 2-2-2.
2-2-2. I like that. Hey, Bad Piggies, we're looking at a team that has been able to win games by holding forward and being aggressive. Well, what happens when they get on the back foot? 2 hammers is not enough utility to take space without a pick before it. So what we have had happen here, right, is you've got this good hold. We're a minute into the game and you start to see that timer tick down against your favor. Well, you need displacement and you need a pick before you can pop those hammers. But time and time again, a hammer would drop and a pick would come against their favor. So this happened twice back to back in this replay. I love this. A great job from our stream producer Rice to catch that one. But I mean, it's so hard to find any utility when you're not being patient. It's a tool last minute pickup has been holding on to and not one Bad Piggies has had to experiment with.
Yeah, Bad Piggies has been keeping up pace with pickup. That game, though, we could see what the stagger really did to them. As soon as the tent attack went down, they were trying to kind of scramble for position. The Zuko finding yet another pick. It's a comp that certainly can be very reliant on either individual plays or that one special, the triple ink strikes. Bad Piggies on Hacklefish Market this time can certainly get a lot of value out of that hammer with such a narrow zone to push through. They could find some nice ways through that last minute pickup. May not have been able to do before, but I think this is a lot more kind of straightforward of a map than Mahi. This is typically like the map where everyone throws retake specials towards the zone and then uses that opportunity to drop in. If Bad Piggies wants to take this one, they're going to really need to push aggressively, get up into that enemy spawn, and lock Pickup out. Pickup looking to come back and take this set, prove they are on top. We see the wiper yet again. Here we go into game 5.
Hammers, don't get called out by that squeezer. Your team doesn't have, your Bad Piggies, you don't have a good retake specialist you called out. So you have to find the pick as your utility back into the zone. That's going to happen with these hammers, but you got to be smart in how you use it. You can't get called out early. First cap, going to last minute.
Still fairly neutral into the zone. That's going to be Max moving forward. Been doing a lot of work on this wiper. Going to get hit by the Splooshamatics hammer on the other side. But 3 members going down still on the Bad Piggies. The Sploosh going down and the stagger and the jump came in and died as well. This is a big advantage for last minute pickup. They're going to start moving forward. Not enough to get onto, say, the enemy tent, but enough to really have some time to get specials. The strikes come in, but last minute pickup still looking fairly stable here. The specials may be coming in for Bad Piggies, but they're all close range. The hammer not able to find a pick. Bad Piggies, the Booyah not able to find anything. The hammer looking for an opportunity, not able to get anything just yet. Bad Piggies has 30 ticks left to do something.
What a great way last minute pickup has found their balance and their rhythm once again, playing this aggression off of that wiper we saw change in game 3 or 4, and what a great way following through. But finally, Bad Piggies finds the way to push last minute pickup back. No one goes down though, really, just some jump outs there, but a recap and a pick now against their favor. Last minute pickup, they're moving forward.
Yeah, my god. That was a miraculous hammer moving forward and able to block the shot from the snipe rider. Dylan on the flank, able to find 2 pick. Bad Piggies has really been struggling for it this game. Max on the wiper has been such a big change. It's been doing so much work, able to really keep up with the pace that Bad Piggies has been playing, able to strafe and scrap with the wiper as well as the Sploosh-O-Matic. Bad Piggies moving in. The strikes find one. Bazooka coming out to counter, finds one as well. Bad Piggies still looking for a way to get into the zone. Decent penalty left for pickup, but Bad Piggies alive, regrouping in front of the zone. They're starting to move in.
ticks remaining, but 10 penalty points stand in the way for the last minute pickup, but they keep counting down as Bad Piggy Sabiano, that's the Sploosh-o-matic, first all the way back. You don't want to be in that position with 10 ticks total remaining, 2 minutes and a half on the clock, but no one's in the zone, last minute pickup. And walk their way forward in those last frames to a KO and a set win. And they're headed to grand finals. Bad Piggies in loser bracket action ahead of them.
Nice show from Bad Piggies, but Pickup staying calm and collected, adjusting their game plan. We saw, I think the biggest changes was that Wiper coming out from Max, able to keep pace with the aggressive members on Bad Piggies. And once you're able to kind of not get blindsided by a Sploosh-o-matic or a Wiper dropping onto you, the game plan is fairly linear, right? You know that they're just going to try and hammer and use that short window of invincibility to push through the zone. So if you're able to really just keep up with them and either like special to when they're about to do that or catch them like on the drop, because what else can you do when you're locked into your spawn and you're a short range weapon but drop like straight into mid? You don't have any other options. There's no at least very infrequently there's like the strikes to create a distraction or an opening for you to get in, but not enough to really disrupt the enemy game plan from afar. So last minute pickup, playing calm and collected, they're going to take it, move to grands, and like you said, Bad Piggies going to have to battle in losers, but I'm excited when we get to see them again.
I mean, the question I think ahead of Bad Piggies is not can they keep up aggression, but rather are other teams prepared for that sort of aggression? And it's a difficult position to have been on stream and now all your cards are shown, especially when, as you called out earlier, right, maybe a team that we don't expect to see quite this far into a Proving Grounds tournament, especially not doing this well. So, their deck shown because of this stream performance and a mighty one at that. Lower bracket's going to be gonna face some adversity for sure on the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if the number one seed in the tournament is struggling this much with that kind of team composition and that kind of real aggression, it's going to be difficult to keep up with for sure. Down in the lower bracket, board as F 2-1 over Freakytown. We've got Bear versus Nameless nomnomnom going to be playing, and then the winner will be facing board as F in losers semis. So we are still, I don't know if we are still waiting on the result or we are going to be hopping over to that match in a moment.
So, Proving Grounds 35, an event hosted on Sendu.Inc, an event that's been on Sendu.Inc for a hot minute now. Fusion, you have more experience with the platform than I. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, just generally as a player, as the occasional organizer, as the commentator, the platform.
I mean, it's very nice, right? Like, I mean, you have some experience with it as well for sure, but it's so nice to be able to look at the teams and click on a player's profile and see, oh, okay, they're on this team and they've done so and so and they play these weapons. It's extremely nice, and it's kind of linked to other things and other tournaments the player has done, because God only knows how many names that player has used in like the past month in tournament.
You know what? You say you're sure that I've used Sendu. I have not
Really?
touched it. I have not. I played like the beta test like 2 years ago of Sendu Q. And then I played a little bit of Q, like maybe 3 or 4 sets back in like November, December of last year. And otherwise, nope. No. I just set up Low Ink August on the calendar, and we're still using Battlefy because our tournament is so freaking big. But yeah, I know nothing about the platform. I'm learning as we do this how to like scroll through the bracket.
Certainly very useful. I like it a lot.
Okay, good. I'm glad that's one for the side of Sendu on my T chart of for and against. That's good to hear. It seems like our set that we were looking at has started. That's losers round 5, our quarters. But we might have a minute here before we can jump back in with some action in losers semis. Bored as F, already there, chilling, waiting. I see Jess on that team, a player who the first time I ever commentated was my co-commentator, co-caster, back
Awesome.
in like 2022. We casted Little Squid League number 11 together.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's it.
They're going to be living up to their team name here because we're going to have a little bit, like you said, until the match finishes. Question: are you going to Riptide?
No, so I don't know if you saw in the little stream coordination channel we have here. I asked about an hour and a half ago if anyone had recommendation for twin XL sheets, because mine from last year at school are like garbage. Hated them, uncomfy. I move into school in like 3 days, and I was telling Pop Gun on the podcast recently. He was like, "You should come out." I was like, "I don't want to like shake my professor's hand, be like, super great to meet you. I do need to get on an airplane now to go watch people play Splatoon." Like, so I'm gonna settle into school that weekend, unfortunately. I take it you'll be there.
It does come a little bit like right after school starts. So,
Right.
but oh my god, it's such a big tournament. I need to check on actually how many people are in it now. It's going to be absolutely wild.
Has it passed LTC?
It's the biggest tournament
Okay,
that
so
we've
it has.
had.
Yeah. Because every year LTC and Riptide like leapfrog each other in terms of size. So there you go. It's the biggest Splatoon LAN ever.
Yippee. Okay.
Hey, speaking of in-person events, I think I got a little secret to tell you, Fusion. I don't know about you,
Ooh, tell me.
but
I want to
hey,
hear the
if you're in
secrets.
the California area, Booyah Bay is ready to run its first ever event in San Jose. I'll tell you, going off the script here, these organizers are some of my favorite people in the scene. Registration has opened. Prices start at $25, and they'll stay that way until September 7th, when they'll be bumped to $35. This event will happen on October 19th. That's Booyah Bay, October 19th. So you can sign up at start.gg/Booyah Bay on screen. And there's more info on the Start GG page. So hey, if you wanna meet folks, and you're in the is that NorCal? Is that where that is?
Yes, it
Is that
is.
SoCal? NorCal. This is your event. This is your friend.
Yeah, I mean, the local scenes have been popping up everywhere. You should super check out Booyah Bay if you're in the area. I believe, Rice, you're running that tournament and running the stream right now. So it's going to be great. We've also got Sea Battle the week before on the 12th. So if you're in the Seattle area, you can hop on over to that. And I believe Oh yeah.
Oh no, you go. Finish it.
No, oh yeah. Riptide is the first week, the 6th to 8th of September, as well. So a lot of fun lands and locals coming up.
Yeah, and it's funny. This is now a Discord call of 3 local organizers. How often
Let's
we
go.
get to all be in the same room, and then when we end up not talking about how the frick do you organize a Splatoon tournament, because God, is it difficult. Holy crap.
There's a lot of work that goes into it.
Dude, lands are so, and so we ran the first New Inkling up in Boston, and I was on a flight to Low Tide City in Austin to help organize that just a handful of weeks later, and oh my god, the scale difference of those 2 events is crazy. And in a lot of ways, to your credit, Fusion, to Rice's credit in this call, I'm sure, because Booyah Bay will be a smash success. Running these tiny things are so hard, because you have to count the dollars. It's like you have to pretend to be an accountant. Guy plays Splatoon 3 for fun. Like, when I have to know numbers and math now, I have to sign contracts and rent space and be liable. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, I got an adorable little lockbox to put the money in, so we can pay the venue at the end. And I have not seen that much cash in one place before.
No, exactly. That's how I felt looking at my New Inkling bank account. Is we were like, we can't do cash. This is gonna be hell. But seeing that money pour in and then seeing it hit zero again, like 3 weeks later, I was like, this is great. We're really doing this, huh? We're doing
It's
this
great when it's not red. That's the
right,
best part.
exactly. Have you guys stayed positive mostly?
I mean, we put a lot of like money and effort into like getting equipment and stuff, but I think we have a good deal on our venue, so we're good. I think we're at least doing fine and hoping to grow. Growing the LAN is hard. They're not money making ventures, but they're super fun and super worth it.
I know Rice Stream can't hear you. Can I get like 3 words for how you're feeling right now? You're like 2 months out. Stressed, exhausted, and happy from Rice.
Sounds about right.
Just imagine how you'll be day of. You'll be stressed, exhausted, and happier.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, our second event went so much better than our first event. On our first event, like, we borrowed switches and adapters, or not switches, but docks and adapters and cords and stuff from people, and there was like one setup that people just could not connect with, and we changed the dock, we changed the adapter, we rewired the routers and stuff, and we just could not get it to work, and we kept falling behind and further behind and all that crazy stuff. So
you guys own your docks now?
Yes, we do.
Wow.
We own docks now. Highly recommend Goodwill. Goodwill has
that is
a billion things.
I'll tell you what, at LTC we had 2 or 3 stations that the monitors kept blacking out. They just flashed black in the middle of sets, and I was freaking out. I was so upset. And we had like I work in the theater industry, and whenever equipment breaks, you write NFG on it. No effing good. We had like a pile of like 30 docks that said NFG, and they were straight from Nintendo. And I was like fuming why they weren't working, because Nintendo gave them to us. And I was scrolling on Reddit midway through day 1, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill someone. Because apparently, Fusion, there is a correct order to plugging in the cables to Nintendo Switch docks. And if you do it in the wrong order, then you risk random things like your screen flashing black.
Yes.
So
I've seen that happen at home.
Bothered me. I know, and I was sitting there, I was talking to Siren and Magic, their other organizers. I was like, guys, how did they send us 30 bad docs? And they were like, things happen. I was like, no, there's no way. Something's wrong. It's user error somewhere. It can't be this many broken docs. Sure enough.
Sometimes if you have your Switch plugged, or sorry, let's say like you have the power plugged, you don't have the power plugged in, but you have the HDMI plugged into the Switch and the TV, and then you plug in the power switch. It may not register the Switch, or it may not like show it on the screen, and so you have to like take out the HDMI and then redo the power, and then HDMI after, and like it works, and it's weird, and there's a lot of weird finicky things, you know.
for about an hour in June, I was the #1 fastest Nintendo Switch dock assembler in the world. For like a good hour, I was the fastest ever at going unplug, plug in, dock go back in, monitor on. Like I had that down to a science. Wish that was the esport. Why do we have to actually play the game? Hey Rice, how are we looking going to this next set?
To run away.
1-1. Ideally in 5 minutes. Is it best of 3 race? Yeah, it is. Okay. Cool. And for context, for those not looking at the bracket, where you can run exclamation point bracket to see what we see, we saw Bad Piggies waiting in losers finals. Before then, board as F beat freakytown 2-1. It's Bear versus our friends Nameless. What was it? Nameless pickup nomnom or something.
Nameless
Name nomnomnom. Nameless name nomnomnom, who we saw on stream earlier. They're tied 1-1 with Bear in losers quarters. Oh, I see a GG. It was Bear. I don't know how to read sendu.ink. Score. What? You should help me.
2-1. Nameless name won.
Okay.
So now it is nameless name nomnomnom versus board as F. That's gonna be our next stream match.
It's huge. I can't believe we just did that fusion. That was a crazy stall. It was like, okay, it wasn't that bad. It was like 10 minutes. Last time I did Proving Grounds, I stalled for 1 hour and 5 minutes with 9-hole grade.
That is wild.
Yeah, Popcone was our streamer. That was weird. That was not right. Something was wrong that day. I don't know if Mercury was in retrograde, but Popcone started drawing out like sentences in the testing room. Started making fun of me in ink text messages. It was scary.
I like cannot survive an hour in a social situation without briefly isolating myself. So
it was weird because that was I think the only time I've casted with 9, so it was a strange experience. But hey, you know what? We made it through. We survived. We live another day. We cast Proving Grounds 1.5 years later.
Dang. And is that the Proving Grounds counts didn't restart when it like changed, right? When it was that like single
24...
elim best of 5 tournament on Friday, right?
No, but it was every other Friday. So 24 was a year of Proving Grounds minus a couple months they skipped or weeks they skipped. So 24 was over a year of this event, which is wild.
Honestly, it's kind of wild when you look at like random Splatoon tournaments and see like they're on like 180 and they're like weekly, and you're like,
yeah,
I've been here a little bit, haven't I?
Yeah, that's how I feel about Low Ink. Is like we don't number those; we just do the month and the year. But someone had entered. I guess it was JPEG when JPEG was still running Low Ink. Entered Low Ink August 2022 on sendu.ink, so the winners would show up. And so I was registering August 2024. I was like, this feels. What am I? Oh my god, we've been running this tournament for 4 years. Like. That's over 4 years. It was like a pre-pandemic event. Like, Jesus, that's an old event.
I'm so old.
You're. Oh, I thought you said I'm so ill. I was like, are you?
I'm so oiled.
Oiled. Is that your like Brooklyn, New York impression?
No, not really. That was me trying to figure out what I wanted to say and being indecisive.
and we settled on oiled.
And regretting it immediately.
Okay, well, I'll stop harping on it then. Hey, nameless name nomnomnom. Talk about a pickup name. Am I right? What are we going with here, Fusion? We gotta get a shorthand established.
I don't know. Nameless name nomnomnom. They've given us 3 good options.
It's true. I'm kind of drawn to the nomnomnom. I can't lie.
I mean, we are going to Robo Ramen.
That's true.
I could go for some ramen right about now.
Here's the thing, right? To me, Robo Ramen is just like a reskin in a lot of ways of is it Gobi Arena was the basketball court? Like it feels very Gobi Arena-y to me. And in some ways I miss Gobi Arena. I miss the basketball hoops. I thought those were fun.
Yeah, those were fun. The only thing Gobi Arena was like, it was okay. The only thing that makes me sad was that the clam baskets weren't where the hoops were, or at least the hoops weren't like in clam basket position. That would have made the map so much better.
If just in Clam Blitz there was the hoop with the basket.
Yeah, that would have been so good.
That would have been pretty sweet. But it also meant that we got all those clips of people throwing footballs through basketball hoops, calling it one sport or another. So, you know what? Actually, thinking more about this, I hated that map, and there was nothing redeemable about it. But it was cute, you know. And you could put a sprinkler on top mid, like you can here. And in zones, which we're going into, it was annoying.
Oh my God. Yeah. Same thing here. You can put the sprinkler in the bottom of the ramen bowl. Very strong. You'll see like snipe riders do that, and like nothing except the snipe rider is going to be able to hit it. So
is it out of reach of every main of all the common shooters?
Well, I think like Squeezer could hit it. I think Stamper could hit it. You know, but things like Shot and 52 and whatever will not be able to. So it's like really annoying.
For the first time ever, shots are quaking to a sprinkler, you know.
It's a really good spot. They could throw a bomb at it if they really want to.
I was so impressed that last set we watched Fusion. Those teams, even changing their weapon comps, like readied up in like half a second. It was wild. They just like clicked A. And I don't know if our teams are even in our lobby yet, but pressing A seems to be a challenge for these guys. I would say like ability to ready up is like inversely proportional to skill, but teams in low rank don't know how to ready up either.
Feel, you know, it's like linked to region or something. I don't know.
The farther towards America you get, the worse at pressing A you are.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. It's time zone based. The later your time zone, the worse at pressing A you are.
And -8 minutes to join the lobby.
That's how we should start doing like
median time.
There you go. It's like RUT ready up time. There you go. That's how we should start doing time zone now. Yeah, I'm RUT -6 right now. What about it?
Seconds, minutes, hours.
Finally, okay. Robo Ramen, moving ahead. Can I say something embarrassing, Fusion, before we start?
What's up?
I didn't know this was Splat Zones only until we finished last set, and I went, wait, is that all Splat Zones?
I saw the map and saw 5 Splat Zones. I was like, oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I didn't even compute that.
But, Bamboo! I love to see it.
There you go. We saw it on stream earlier from these guys against our pickup team earlier. Interesting they kept with it. It's a remarkably high paint output comp for a team with the Blaster and a Charger.
Yeah, the double fizzy like really does that. It gives you so much extra paint pressure, and you just have a lot of passive paint. It's like having extra burst bombs, especially like it mitigates how little paint something like a Tri or Bamboo could put out on its own. I mean, not that they don't paint somewhat, but not nearly as much as just a plain old vanilla shooter would. So, Ford as F is going to be in the lead, maintaining control. What the? Oh my god, 96 finding some picks. It shot so infrequently, I thought that was the Bamboo for a second. And Board as F just really in control of this game. They've been kind of, I guess, scrapping all over the place so far, like running circles around Nameless Name, who's been moving in, trying to find picks. Maxim finds a way in. That's going to be a flip of the zone. Last member of Board as F is going to be able to jump out in time, but clean retake from Nameless Name, and still anybody's game. That's just how Splat Zone goes.
Shy of 80 ticks in the first minute and a half for Board as F, and look at them doing a great job moving back and finding picks. It's going to be Maxim with that Tri-Slosher, though, finding a couple more in the interim, but going down now, a delayed wipe in favor of Nameless Nomnom, but, in favor of Board as F, but a great job finding a way to stall for time and get some control back, as Nameless Nomnom is already sort of trying to, I speak too soon. I said control their plat, but less, I think, than they wanted.
Yeah. still decent penalty online. It's going to be Bordazef trying to get the picks to lock out nameless name. They move in, they find one, not able to find the second one. So time is ticking down, but as that happens, Bazooka or something finds a pick. Zuka's going to help clear up the zone. When you paint on the zone, it does come just in the nick of time before the Kraken comes out from board as F. Go offense circling around here, trying to find a way in on the pencil, but Jest is well aware, finds the pick. Board as F back in control. They've just been in the driver's seat pretty much the whole game so far, even when they've lost the zone.
And it's surprising too, you know, nameless name nomnom being a team that just finished their set, and Board as F has been waiting for a hot second to get here. But look at them, a great job controlling this. Finally, nameless nomnom will be able to take control back and set up their attempt at a first lockout with 2 picks.
Yeah, here they go. Range Monster finds a pick, but that's actually a 3-down situation onto board as F. Now, nameless name is going to get a bunch of points on the board. Wavebreaker going to stall a little bit out of line of sight of most things. It's going to be board as F just kind of being patient. They're probably waiting out the Kraken to come in. Actually, the whale is going to be what opens the gate. It's going to be a nice pick, and it's going to kind of trap the entirety of board as F. They're going to be forced to retreat, getting kind of caught in the ink there, and a very clean retake is going to keep board as F in the lead.
Textbook special coordination there as the Kraken and the Zuka came online, basically in synchronous. No picks, but it won't matter when you can push a team back and get control. And with 20 ticks remaining, Super Chumps are gonna be a last-ditch effort to cap that zone. They're actually gonna force players around, but a nice pick there from Bounce is gonna find one there. Now 1 minute remains, and 5 ticks and 5 penalty points remain. 55 seconds on the clock, 5 ticks now, and the ticks continue to come out, and a nice march forward there. And denying nameless name nom 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 into that zone in this best of 3 game.
Yeah, board as F just really taking their time getting back in. They didn't move super aggressively. That's kind of like, you know, what like something like the blaster or the bamboo or even tri-slosher is going to try and do, and they're going to try and get you in like the tiniest bit of ink. Punish you for taking a slight step too far, maybe like dropping out of spawn early, and if that happens, there's a big stagger. If not, you can kind of just wait them out, outpaint them, and you know, spawn being up a level from the plat, so you can't really get trapped if you're just sitting in your own spawn. Certainly help board as F stall this, and they got a real clean push back in to help take the game. Just so many holds let them break down their penalty pretty early.
Great job with special coordination. Great job with passive play, as you mentioned, right? Allowing yourself to regroup and gain control. Museum de Alfonsino, not quite, I think, as kind to that sort of play style, but certainly not unkind. Again, a similar plat situation overlooking that zone. Certainly more favorable than our game 3 Mahi Mahi. Board as F hoping to not have to get there and send this one to bed in game 2.
Yeah, Zones Museum. I haven't seen it too much recently. I feel like everyone, or this map was certainly seen much more on the other modes. This is a big zones map. I think the Fizzies can certainly get a lot done, but this is Pencil's home turf. You have so much rain to control mid, and it's just very difficult to kind of displace that. They're gonna kind of hope. Nameless name is going to hope like the Fizzies can get some work done, but board as F is going to have a good time for their team composition here. They're going to need to get up onto the enemy plat off of a big push if they want to win this game.
Board as F's, despite being a pickup here, here's our 4 players who play together all the time, and that synergy is showing up, and they're proving that even pickups can have that sort of team synergy. So it's nameless name nomnomnom who have to now break through that. Those maybe practice callouts, we'll say.
Nameless name opting to kind of drop on the right side early, trying to find an early pick. That's kind of not going to work for them. They get sort of circled on, especially by the two splash wall, or the one splash wall, no, the two splash wall members on board as getting onto the enemy plat, bounce moving in, not able to get one pick. It's going to be enough to stall the Kraken. Can't really fake it out. It's so fast. That's going to be first hold going to board as F, and they're taking down the timer even more. U Prime V doing so much work, finding picks. Nameless mates, to be sure that they don't get stalled out here, they need to be a little bit careful.
Dry strikes online. That'll send members of board as F a little bit back. Now the second set of them coming out from nomnomnom. That time, picks and a cap will follow. So a minute into this game and 34 ticks remain for board as F. A very similar situation from where we were last time, Fusion, though. Look at how nomnomnom has pushed all the way up here. Not honestly the same fashion we saw from board, but with such an aggressive weapon like that blaster, a pick will come out early, and that's enough to stall at least another couple ticks.
Yeah, this is what they needed. They need to get up onto that plat, find picks, go off, and looking for a sneaky play. They're up on the grates. They're not going to be able to find a pick. They're going to opt to drop off to the side. They distract the Kraken. Maybe long enough for the lead. We'll have to see. The strikes come in. The paint is still in the control of Nameless Name. They're holding onto the zone just barely. They need the picks. They don't have the paint in order to sustain this. They're going to find two picks, and they are going to take the lead. That is going to be Nameless back in control of this game. Maxim on the right side finds a pick. Nicely done with that bucket. And now board as F on the back foot. 15 seconds left. Are they going to have to? Are they going to find any way in? Yeah, the strikes are coming out. They're going to stall the zone, and that opportunity, the Zuka finds one pick, but that's not enough. Nameless coming back nearly immediately, taking game 2, and we are going to game 3.
And Fusion, you know the post-game conversation from board as F goes, we should have painted picks, not zone. We should have gone for the splat and not for the cap. And it's one of those things that's just so hard to make a call in the moment. You paint the zone or do you go for a splat, but it doesn't matter because in this case, right, Nameless said, oh, you're just going to paint zone, I'll just hold CR and look at you, and 2 picks will fall, and then a third on the way. It's just the 96 gal left here, and the script was written at that point. So, you know, those one little mistakes, that one little moment of game sense difference, that can cost anyone the game. And in this high level, you know, these two teams doing such a great job at punishing and keeping their ground. So we're going to end that one not even halfway through the timer with a KO. Nomnomnom. Hang it up.
Nomnomnom.
Nomnomnom.
I mean, there's nothing to stop the blaster from like holding ZR, and I mean weapons like 52 and 96. They really want to be the ones like being aggressive and initiating, and not able to really do that here. They just did not have a way in. There were no specials to take the zone as time was ticking down. So nice job, Nameless nomnomnom, playing to their win condition there. They're going to be able to take game 2, force us to game 3, and I believe that this is like a range blaster map, right? I think it is. So going to be very solid, very aggressive team composition that was coming out from Nameless Name. Nothing like super long range, but I think you can somewhat get away with that on Mahi, especially when you have those strikes coming out. Let's see what happens. Here we go, game 3. This is going to determine who makes it to losers finals.
No real big comp changes. Maxim opting for that normal slosher this time around, and so a lot will be decided by this first cap and first couple picks early on here. It's going to be Bounce holding forward with that 52 guy, looking for something on the right side, opting to back up because 2 on them, so go offense will get punished for that pick, and so player advantage will go to boards as Proto now forced to the side, strikes coming online, and still an even game though. 20 ticks already down for boards.
All right, forward is F in control. Two members do end up going down. Proto finds themselves on the back foot. The splash wall comes out. They have Bazooka at the ready, waiting for that splash wall to go down to find an opportunity to use it. Here it comes. It's going to combine with that Kraken. It's going to scare Nameless Name out. That is going to be a big lead for board as F. Now 2 members down onto Nameless Name. A big stagger. The game is getting away from Nameless Name. They need to find a way back in.
33 ticks and only a minute down on the clock, so nomnomnom tries to pull out all the stop strikes online, both sets of them. That'll find the cap, but they don't have any splats yet to their name, so they need to find something. Killer Whale will do a nice job calling out opponents, and board as F backs all the way up, and finally picks are going to start to fall. A 3v2 situation in favor of nomnomnom, so they may be able to set up for a lockout here, but go offense, going down on the front lines, on the offensive, one might say. And still a question as to who's going to come out in the hold.
Yeah, Nameless Name, they have a much shorter range comp. They need to kind of take advantage of any time they find a pick, really just push it to its limit, because if they let board as F use their range, especially the splash wall weapons, to just kind of sit there and space them out, they're not going to be able to win this game. Board as F in control of the zone again, range, chilling in that middle of a very strong spot for it, able to survive, but not long enough to find a pick. Board as F pulling ahead here, almost no penalty left on the clock. It's going to be go offense, finding another pick here. That's going to be a recap, keeping Nameless Name in the game.
3 minutes left, and despite what the scoreboard says in terms of point value, I would say this has been a very back and forth game. Board as F got that first half early, and they got a lot of points off of it, but once that map sort of extended and the water level dropped, I would say we ended up somewhere way more even.
Yeah, absolutely. The moment all these blocks pop up, Nameless Name kind of stands a chance to chill and shoot from either behind cover or over cover, and it's certainly worked out for them so far. But again, time ticking down, penalties low. That's a huge pick coming out from Bounce on that left side onto the 52. Another pick on the right from the 96. No penalty left on line. A big stagger. Tension finds a pick off of the Killer Whale. Now, Nameless Name moving into the zone. The strikes come in. It's going to be 2 sets of strikes in the zone. They don't find a pick, but it stalls long enough for the 52 to come straight through them and find it himself. So nice stuff. It's going to be Nameless Name back in control of the zone.
What a great job holding point there for as long as possible from board as F, able to get a couple more points there. But again, maybe points aren't all you care about, because you're now down, you're now having to prove a way back into the zone, and penalty points, or points now, ticking for nomnomnom. They're within plenty ticks, and one goes for a swim. That might be all the difference, as board as F finds the cap. So a little bit of a misplay there from nomnomnom. But a great job to find some picks and find a cap and get a couple more points on the board.
Yeah, going a few members down, getting aggressive. I mean, these are risks you have to take if you're Nameless Name, but still going down in like inopportune moments can certainly make it very difficult to take the victory. 2 members down, the Range Blaster alone in the zone. The Wave Breaker's not going to be enough to maintain the control. Maxim's their last hope. Nameless Name moving in. Maxim moved in straight into the 52 gal, or the 96. No, that's the 52 gal. Anyways, Nameless Name is going to come out on top, make it to Board as F is going to come out on top, making it to losers final. My God, I'm sorry. I need to wake up. These games are waking me up. My brain's not awake.
Words are really difficult.
That's honestly the harder. You know, some may say there is nothing else to commentating but words are the hardest part of commentating.
So I would say, based on that, Fusion, the hardest part of commentating is all of it. And let me know how you feel. What a game there. Really back and forth. And to me, the momentum from the first, 30 seconds of that game before the water level dropped was all the difference. Where, before those platforms came up, those were the points that Board as F carried in advantage through the whole thing. Because, I mean, nomnomnom got a lot of points down on that scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing like a team composition that has more paint and is more kind of balanced overall, like you have a variety of roles and stuff on the team, it becomes something, or it like becomes more. There's a lot more pressure on you to make big plays, to take advantage of the small openings you get, to really just push it to its limit and find the picks that find multiple picks when you find a pick at all. So not able to really get it, especially like going individual members down when you're trying to extend a hold, is what kind of ends up giving Board as of that victory there. They were just able to find like the stray picks rather than getting staggered in spawn. So great job to them. They're going to be moving to losers finals where they're going to face that the Funny Piggy team that had the Splooshomatic and the S-Blast coming up next.
Funny Piggy. There is nothing funny about these piggies. They are bad. They are some bad piggies, Fusion. I mean, what an aggressive team Bad Piggies was, and the flip side of that is what we saw last time, right? Was they were able to capitalize on the inability to regroup and pop specials and coordinate together. Well, Board SF a couple times, I don't know about you, I felt them being a very strong synergistic team.
I'm sorry, Bad Piggies, you mean?
No, Board SF. I mean,
okay, sorry. I'm like,
yeah, you're good.
This is what happens when I don't have my muffin.
Have you gotten any of your muffin down?
It's still sitting there with like the 2 bites I took out before we started.
What we're gonna do? I'm gonna take a super deep breath. Fusion, you're gonna nibble on that muffin, and Stream is just gonna be a little bit uncomfortable for the next 30 seconds. Okay?
No, we're not doing that.
No. I'm taking my deep breath. You better take a bite of your muffin. Okay?
No.
3, 2. I'm breathing deep. 1.
That's a good muffin.
Yeah, is it chocolate chip? What kind of muffin do you have, Fusion?
It's a chocolate chip muffin.
Okay, good. Before we got on the mic, so we didn't get our ping of warning to get on, and so we get here, and Fusion's like, guys, I really just want to eat my muffin. And in my head, Fusion, you were just kind of eating while we did our little pre-talk. Hi, how are you? What's going on? But I guess in actuality, you just looked at it for the last hour, like it was just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. That's deeply upsetting.
No. When I get focused on something, I forget about everything else.
And so what I'm hearing is you saw the muffin and you went, right, I have a muffin.
Yes, that is correct. I saw the muffin and I was like, a muffin would go hard right now.
Oh, muffin! I was like, oh yeah, I wanted a muffin an hour ago, and I still want a muffin. Do you have any muffin recommendations? Do you just like go to your local like bakery? Like, what's going on?
There's a cool little like tiny like a really tiny like. I feel like it's like a 7x7 foot like house thing at a gas station that makes coffee and sells like muffins, like a teeny little coffee shop. That's like awesome.
Do I smell Sea Battle sponsorship? Hey, we really like your muffins.
I wish.
Us free muffins.
That would be cool.
That's what we need to look at IPL. We need to find those small businesses that want to help the little guy and give our TOs free muffins and our stream producers free muffins. I would go such a long way for the I think vibes. What's the HR term for vibes?
Synergy. I don't know.
Synergy. What
atmosphere?
The atmosphere. That's good, Rice. I like that. Thank you, stream producer Rice. Anyway, HR would be a lot happier if all the employees got free muffins, I think.
Oh wow. But here we go. Already. They joined the lobby pretty quick. Either that or we spent a while talking about muffins.
I want a muffin now, Future.
Good. Excellent.
I hope everyone at home wants a muffin too. You were just here. Who did this map pool?
We did indeed. Bounty over on the right side, trying to open things up for Board as F, but not able to get it. Interestingly, I think that Floosh and Wiper may not face off too well into these flash walls coming out from Board as F, but nonetheless, Bad Piggies coming off to an early start here, holding the zone, but they go 2 down, trying to get aggressive. The strikes come out defensively, Bazooka. What kind of trade was that? Anyways, yeah, Bad Piggies barely holding on.
Special for special there, and so it's as if it was never popped to begin with. A neutral and zone, I mentioned in this game, a very different tune from last time. Less than your 10 minutes ago, and it looks like Bad Piggies are going to be the one to get the real cap here and actually get points on the board, but Board as F's board caps the zone in retaliation, and really a dogfight, and I think I see some crystals being snapped in the process.
My God, it's Bad Piggies with an iron chair.
Oh, it goes for the clothesline too.
All right, here we go. Timer ticking down. The Mahi Mahi has transformed. The water has gone down, but Bad Piggy's still struggling to find a way in. The hammers that have had so much success so far are having a bit of difficulty going in. Now the Kraken opening the way, or not Kraken opening the way, but rather the hammer opening the way for another hammer. That's going to be Bad Piggies in control of the zone. It feels like when they get the zone, they're kind of just like squeaking in, and then they get the picks. It's been a little bit like they're not fighting for zone most of the time. They're just kind of like they fight for control, and then suddenly when they get the zone, everyone on the other enemy team goes down. You know, they're just getting those picks when they need them.
The only thing you can do against that is pop a Kraken, I guess, but you don't know where you're going with that one, says the mathematical equation. They're going to get kind of stuck there on that snipe jumping out. Blue Bomb, surprise strikes in the process, 20 ticks towards that lead, and the game will be more of theirs, but Board as F, it's going to be bounce. Question mark, moving all the way back in, finding the cap and saving the scoreboard for now is 2 minutes remain on this time.
2 minutes remaining, still fairly even game. Oh my God, bounce nearly did not find that pick. They do get taken out by another teammate. The hammers coming in. I'm amazed at how long these hammers are surviving. It's miraculous after all the complaints I've seen about hammer in general being so inconsistent at blocking shots, but Bad Piggies making it work, fun to rhyme, able to stay alive and keep things cooking. For Bad Piggies, the Kraken going to stop things. U Prime V able to get that pick, looking for even more. Board as F back in the zone. They're going to still maintain control. They have such a big, I think, comp paint advantage that, if they're able to really leverage that, they can kind of take the game nearly off of that. And I got Sabiano nearly finding a pick there, but Bad Piggies, big opportunity.
Looks like Bad Piggies is going to get a proper, clean lockout, we'll say. But that is at least a little bit more coordinated. A Booyah Bomb coming from behind there. No, they're just saying Booyah? Sorry. The hammers come out. And Toad looked to try to cancel a Azuka to the face, and the trade will ensue. So with 1 minute left, a lead will get expanded upon for Bad Piggies, and it's Board as F to go into this sort of last section of the game and find a lead in the process.
Yeah, moving in here, the hammer comes out, it finds 2 picks. Members that were not able to react in time, finds a third in Jazz looking for more. The whale finishes that hammer off, but Bad Piggies in control. The timer is ticking. S-Class finds a very nicely timed direct. This game is getting away from Board as F. If Bad Piggies is able to find one more pick before specials come out, they could take this game off of that, but the Kraken is going to come in time. That means Bad Piggies is going to have to scramble here. The S-Class running for their life away from this Kraken. They're going to survive, but in the process, Board as F getting so much paint on the zone. The zone will likely flip off of it, and yes, it does.
Booyah comes out, though, and the cap with 1 second remaining. Bad Piggies takes game 1 in losers finals, and this is still a best of 3 set, so that's a scary place to be when you just fought as hard as you did to get here. That's Board as F losing game 1.
It certainly is. This is losers still best of 3?
It is still best of 3.
Wow. Okay. So the pressure is really on. Board as F going to have to make a move. Man, it felt like they were able to. Bad Piggies was doing such a great job. Utilizing that hammer, getting in and preventing like the gals from setting up, and really just kind of circumnavigating the walls and defense that Board as F was putting up, and just one more game away from making it back to winners. Excuse me.
Yeah, remember Bad Piggies, they've already faced our grand finals team that is the most last minute pickup and gave them a run for their money in winners finals. So looking for that rematch, and they're one step closer, as you said, but first Hagglefish Market's going to stand in the way. And that's a map that we saw Board as F kind of show up on and do some damage, if I remember correctly, against nameless name nomnomnom. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm having a stroke saying these team names. Like I feel like I'm just
a little bit. I feel similarly. God, yeah. You stare at words or say them long enough. And you're like, what am I saying?
Hey, the hardest part of commentating is all of it. So.
Well, this was also the map the Bad Piggies ended up going down to the team in winners final from after they were not able to get back into the zone. So we'll see if Board as F is going to be able to do something similar here. Bad Piggies off to a very strong start though. Oh, here they go. The hammers are under the tent. They're already so far up. The Kraken comes out. Fairly solid answer for the hammers, but hammers still able to mostly outpace them. But Kraken getting a lot of work done here. Bad Piggies still in control, but nonetheless, Board as F almost ready to get back in. No Kraken online. The Zukas, it just feels like Bad Piggies is kind of just everywhere except the zone. It feels like they're just nowhere near the middle of the map. So when like the Zuka comes out, it's not able to find anyone because there's nobody there.
Cats going off, finding 2 there on the front line with that S-Class. Looking for the 3rd, they're going to find it. Now a full wipeout in their favor. Look how aggressive. Talk about no one's in the zone. Well, they don't need to be. If they can lock out a spawn, Hagglefish Market, 25 ticks remain, and they're still finding ticks, or points, sorry. Sabiano backing up now, face-to-face with the Kraken. A hammer not going to be able to hold off there, but no paint support coming out for the 96 gal Board as F, and ticks will be counting down.
Wow.
With Sweep Fusion. We are seeing a rematch in grand finals.
Yes, we certainly are. Bad Piggies making such quick work, snowballing that first push into a victory, and I really love what they did. They got super aggressive, but they were kind of able to back up when things got worse for them, and that enabled them to really like hold the zone. They got these picks. They had a big advantage. The timer ticked down, and they played safe to just maintain control of the zone. Because when the Kraken came down, they didn't opt to like fight it or try and fight the enemy team. They know as long as we maintain paint control, we are going to be able to take it. So they did just that. Bad Piggies with that rematch, and it was a 3-2 set last time. So things are looking bright for them as we move to grands.
I feel like there used to be a playbook when we hit a grand finals rematch of winners finals, and it would be like team from losers bracket has momentum. They win game 1 and maybe game 2. Winners bracket team wakes up, wins game 3, wins game 4. Game 5 would be a toss up. And then either way, you'd hit the bracket reset and winners bracket team would quick 3-0 sweep and we'd all go home and say, wow, what a tournament.
I think you've seen too many Starburst tournaments.
Right, and that's exactly what I'm saying. To try and avoid that situation. A, I'm saying it now so it doesn't happen, right? Commentators curse or something. But B, I hope we've come to a place now with high level Splatoon where that is less common because again, Fusion, as I told you before we got on the mic, it's been a hot second since I've been able to actually sit down and watch high-level gameplay. The fact that no one has showed up with a comp that has made me scratch my head has been nice and refreshing.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly really interesting. The double hammer is kind of making it work here. Bad Piggies doing a great job kind of just leveraging their like individual fight power and just able to like make up for the lack of dedicated displacement specials by really just like playing aggressively and using the geometry of the map to their advantage here. I mean, we saw even such strong players as last minute pickup here were struggling with it. They did come out on top in the end, but Bad Piggies certainly gave them a run for their money. I'm curious to see whether or not we'll be seeing that happen yet again, because once Bad Piggies swapped to that T-Tech, it seemed like they have stuck with it. It's felt like, oh yeah, the strikes help them recap the zone, and it also is a great displacement tool against like a snipe rider, which they wouldn't be able to contest otherwise. And okay, I thought I was hallucinating too there for a moment, because I saw like all the other modes and I was like, wait, this is zones only.
Yeah, zones only until grand finals, and then we make them play Clan Blitz only.
All turf war.
It's a zones only event until grands, and then you're playing turf war. We just wanted to go a little
you
faster.
put like 20 zones next to each other, and it's just the whole map. And that's turf war.
So I Sendu.Inc tells me both picked on this map. Is this not a map like this tourney? Is this a Sendu players put in their favorite maps and they get played tourney? That it is, says stream producer Rice. And that's why we've seen the same 4 maps only.
Yeah, players are picking what they're comfortable with.
And so they all like the same map. It's like when players in Low Ink counterpick Tower Control Inkblot Art Academy. And then Popgun quit Splatoon forever out of anger.
Hey, at least it's not like counterpicking Sturgeon 4 times in a row.
Yeah, we don't get that so much. I miss Main Stage. Why do we not play Main Stage anymore? I feel like that map was so solid.
Mostly because it's not in the game.
Hey, Main Stage is... No. I think... Yes, I missed it. I'm thinking of Shipyard, Sturgeon. I don't like Sturgeon anymore. I like Sturgeon. Ad map, stream producer Rice. No, take that back. It was so fine. It was so fine. Clam Blitz was totally fine.
Spoken like a true Splashdown.
I mean, Fusion, you played Junior. Back me up here. We liked Shipyard, right?
See, okay, Clam Blitz Sturgeon reminds me of like god-awful Blackbelly Rainmaker, where there was just mid, the goalpost, and then they were too close, so they just put a gigantic wall in between them. And it's like, no, you can actually like push over top mid and score a bunch so easily. The fact that there's a wall there is deceptive. And mostly the problem I think with Sturgeon is that it's so snowbally. It's hard to get back in. At least, that's how I feel about it.
I always liked Main Stage more to Sturgeon. And they always felt very similar to me. Main Stage added that extra flank that we saw used often horribly and sometimes smartly. But we don't get to see any of that. We get to see Mako Mart, and we get to see Mako Mart over and over again.
We haven't seen Mako today.
When we've been
commentating. When we've been commentating, we haven't.
Yes. Which is surprising? No?
Yeah, it's surprising. So I'm surprised we've seen it. I think Mako deserves to be, the golden child of Splatoon 3.
It's
a good map.
Where's the Mako only tournament when you need it? All 4 modes.
I haven't seen Rainmaker here in years.
I like Rainmaker. We played it in Low Ink when I played Low Ink years ago, and I thought it was solid, but whatever. Y'all can have your opinion. Cap first goes to Pickup. Pickup and Piggies, not the most easy thing to differentiate quickly when we're talking, but we'll make it.
All right, well, early start from Bad Piggies here in control in the yellow. As we start off these grand finals, S-Blast, nearly finds a pick. They finished off by their teammates, but a nice flank there from Fish on that side is going to neutralize the zone, albeit briefly, as the Wiper comes back in, and yeah, finally last minute pickup, back in control of the zone, back in control of the game here after the initial first hold. I feel like we've kind of been seeing that from Bad Piggies, where they seem to be like winning the initial fights and then are kind of constantly battling to get those extra points.
So Cap now neutralized for Pickup as they look to find a way in, but going 2 down because of one on the back lines. It's just Dylan stuck in a bad situation. They'll jump out, so points continue to tick for Bad Piggies there. 20 penalty points on the board with 2 specials ready. Those are both hammers though, so not a lot of utility to come out of it in a hammer fight. 1v1 now. Max will find the pick for Pickup, so maybe tides will turn here as Pickup finds a way through.
That was very funny. Max won a fight against a hammer, and then another hammer came out, and so Max hammered as an answer to the hammer, and Max came out on top, just a very talented player. Last minute pickup still ticking down the timer. 2 numbers down on to Bad Piggies. We have Azuka at the ready. We always see like Azuka sitting on that left side waiting to hit people coming from that left drop, but they're gonna back up. Here comes the Azuka, not able to find anything just yet. Doesn't find anything on the left side, but finds one on the right. Fish going to continue sharking over here, watching this left drop. The hammer comes out, but oh goodness, only hitting indirect. Last minute pickup just playing so really concertedly and hanging onto the zone. They're just taking the timer down and may take this first game off with just the lack of attack from Bad Piggies.
Will get canceled, but it won't matter. It's enough of a distraction on the back side. Bad Piggies to find a cap. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds remain, and a lot of points on the board for Pickup, but it's fun. So anything can happen if Bad Piggies can find a way to get solidly get a solid lockout.
All right, last minute pickup on the back foot again. No penalty this time. So last minute pickup has much less time to get something done here. Dylan not able to find anything. 2 members don't know who to shoot at. Now last minute pickup getting staggered. The time is ticking down. We have a blaster under the ledge on the right side and the wiper. Dylan is taken out. Rhyme finds a nice hit. Time's ticking down. 3 members down. It's going to be the S-Blast taken out by a hammer, but there's not nearly enough paint or time. Bad Piggies taking game 1.
You know, Max's silver hammer there not doing quite enough. I think, we saw that big fight in the mid, and that was flashy and fun, but ultimately, one hammer on its own can't find advantage. You can't find ways to lose. So at the end there, Max will go down, and the game will go to Bad Piggies. And I hate to say it, Fusion, but my prophecy in game 1 stays true.
Absolutely. I mean, this is certainly, if you're going to run this team composition with double hammer, this is absolutely the place to do it. This is like where Hammer's born and raised, under the ledge, getting all the picks, pushing through zone, and finding picks. And Bad Piggies comp is just so punishing to drop into. They're making it work, finding a lot off of the brief bit of like shielding and invincibility that those hammers can pull out. You think you're safe on a drop, and I think a lot of weapons just can defend themselves so well that you think you're fine, but like Squeezer can outmatch like anything in the game, but a hammer, like you can't shoot through it, you can't run away from it nearly as easily as a Kraken. It's kind of a unique, a little bit of a unique experience.
So game 1 goes to our lower bracket team as they vie for a bracket reset. It's last minute pickup though, who have been waiting patiently, trying to re-find their balance. And Ship Shape Cargo Co. Ship Shape Cargo Co. is where they are hoping to do that.
Wow, I mean, okay, these guys have been ready to go. They are excited to keep things going. We've got a booyah coming out from members of the Bad Piggies. It's going to be last minute pickup, moving up onto the high ground mostly, while Bad Piggies playing the low ground. And really early in the game, that's going to be a pick onto the wipers on both sides. Interesting trade coming out there. Bad Piggies going 2 members down, trying to play the top, having a little bit of difficulty, trades on the S-Blast, but they're still going in favor of last minute pickup, who are going to have the early lead here and control of the zone.
Hammer online for Thunderine, but will go down regardless. Now Awesome Fish with that Zuka finds one, looks for a Hail Mary third shot, and nothing will come of it, but already halfway through the counter there is last minute pickup since we're found their stride. It's Max on the front lines with that wiper looking for a pick. They're going to go down. Booyah Bomb online for Piggy. Not enough to find a neutral, but a little bit of paint will help them out. But 3 will go down on the front lines with 30 ticks remaining. I'm not sure if Piggies have time to get back in.
They need to find something. The Zuka not able to get anything. Bad Piggies is going to find 1 pick, but another Zuka finds a pick. 3 members down, 1 stuck in spawn. Bad Piggies has no way to get past the wall of bullets. Last minute pickup coming back very quickly. This is going to be an exciting finals. 2 quick wins on both sides.
I hear your 2 quick wins, Fusion, and I raise you 1 fast win and 1 as fast as possible win.
True.
Like that game was a little, and look, some of that's map, some of that is weapon composition, but a lot of that, I hate to say it, is the flashlight in your eyes, and you have to wake up and play the game again after some downtime. A last minute pickup, hoping to carry that momentum forward. Barnacle and Dime is up next, and I wouldn't be surprised if these players sort of insta-ready and try to keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, that's a great point from our stream producer. That was a map mode chosen by Piggies, and they just got, rolled off the face of the earth in the process.
It's kind of interesting. People often pick maps based on what they think their winning state is. People always think oh, it's a snowballing map and we're so good at fighting in mid, we'll just win the opening fight and win the map. And they don't think about the fact that, oh no, if we lose the opening fight, we
Yeah. I feel like so much of map picking is based on who your opponent is. And I don't know, unlike counter picks, you don't get to sort of pick a map mode in this format based on the current situation of the set, right? You go into the set with predetermined maps, and so that means that you don't get to pick a map based on what's going to favor you against an opponent. You're just trying to pick a map that favors you and not any opponent. And that's a lot harder to do.
Yeah, it certainly can be difficult to do. And you're kind of gambling it all on that that first push here. This is a hard map to retake on. Bad Piggies off to a good start. They found a clean early pick. They have hammers at the ready. They're kind of using them as the shield here, but opting to instead avoid that Inkzuka. It's going to be Saviano on the hammer, not able to move forward. You want to move forward, but you can't give your opponent any kind of angle to your side there, or else you're going to end up getting taken out. So nicely played from last minute pickup. They're going to have the zone here and begin their first walkout.
Dylan with the Zuka looking to make some magic. They'll find one on a nice arc there. They had to pull out the protractor and double hammers, a little bit more brute force, less elegant there. We'll find a couple hits themselves, but not going to do a ton with players already back and ready to go with pickup, and Bad Piggies forced all the way back. Nice fight there on the back line with 35 ticks remaining. Pickup doing a great job on this lockout. Thunderine hasn't been able to move forward for the last 50 seconds.
And last minute pickup just unfazed. Dylan and Fish staying on that stack, holding their ground. 2 members down. This is a good opportunity. Hammer from that left side. You can't really contest that super easily, but able to scoop the shot through is Dylan. The Booyah, not usually known for its zone paint, able to take the zone in that opportunity, and Bad Piggies is going to use that to win their fights and take back control. Now, Bad Piggies on lockout. They're going to have to really wait for members of last minute pickup to drop, because they don't have the tools to do anything until Pickup really drops in. Max on the hammer. They still have it. They missed. They don't know exactly where the member is sharking, so they're not going to be able to get the pick. Bad Piggies is going to strike back here as all their specials come out.
There for Max, as they'll find one splash. 2 minutes and 40 seconds remain, and they need to find the cap soon. As points tick down for Bad Piggies, it's going to be Max. Once again, trying to make something out of the awesome pick. Says no thank you. They're going to find a trade and a pick in the process. Now Dylan looking to find a neutral. Jumps coming in. The squeezer finds a pick. And there's the neutral. It's just a phantom alive. And they'll go down for Piggies. So a great job to stay patient and find a way back in. But a little close for comfort there as Pickup needs to find a whole 60 ticks to find the pick.
Yeah, big penalties. The game kind of slows down. Always one of the weirdest aspects of Zone. How it goes from like, you have 2 seconds to do something, so you have 2 minutes to do something in the blink of an eye. Sabiano looking for an opportunity to move in. Yeah, and maybe it's the matchup experience, but Bad Piggies has been doing a great job shutting down the Wiper on the other side. So far, Bad Piggies has half of their penalty remaining, 30 ticks, looking for, stray picks that they can find. They can't really get into the snipe, but they may get under it with a hammer if they have an opportunity. Frontal Rhyme is going to DC. Yep. Oh my god, they were just standing there for a moment. There's no way to replay this, but Sabiano on the hammer. They're in such a good position. They find 2 picks, looking for a third. Time's ticking down. Bad Piggies stall it long enough. The Blaster finds a pick. The Viper's moving into the zone. They find a pick. The zone is going to remain in Bad Piggies' favor. Can they neutralize it in time? Oh my god, despite it being a 3v4, Bad Piggies is hanging on. The Viper out of paint, looking for a way in. They find 1 pick, not able to get a second. What is going on at
the hammer?
Neutral? Bad.
Oh no, Sabiano on the Sploosh-O-Matic, a high output weapon. Pops the hammer and down a player. They're going to lose the cap, and now a full wipeout in last minute Pickup's favor. There's no amount of specials for Piggies that can come out here to overcome a 4v3. And wow, you're going to look back at this VOD and realize it was as simple as a special pass, and you know that Sabiano recognized it immediately. They threw the hammer away to try to get their ZR back, and what a way for this to end as Pickup moves into a lockout. Oh, just such unfortunate there in that DC.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you see someone standing there locked onto it with a torpedo locked onto them, it's like no. But
What
Bad
a
Piggies,
way.
they looked very strong in that game, even despite the DC.
It's so difficult to sit there and go, yeah, we got that win and it was deserved after you win in a DC like that. And so in some ways you start getting in your own head if your last minute pickup, but there's the hammer. Just unfortunate there. But hey, look, I mean, the way Bad Piggies, as you called out, in that Wiper diff, able to sort of turn the tides back in their favor. I agree in a large way, and it looked for a hot second there like Piggies, or that Pickup wasn't able to continue the momentum they had in that game 2 and they had in the first minute or so in that game 3. But at this point now, they could taste the set win and the tournament win. Is they just need to get one more in this best of 5 grand finals.
Yeah, just one more left. We're going to be hopping back to Mahi Mahi Resort, and yeah, this was this game 5 last time? No, this wasn't. This was one Bad Piggies came out on top of, I do believe, that they hung on to like last minute. We'll see if they're going to be able to really push their advantage here. Hammer under the ledge can certainly do so much work under the ledge from Snipe, rather. Very, very valuable on a map like this. Bad Piggies, kind of riding off of, or coming off of an unfortunate DC. We're going to hope that they're not too distraught and can keep up their momentum, because they've been looking very good so far. Last minute pickup did, punish the DC accordingly, but not over yet.
Game 4 loads in here. Last minute pickup at match point against Bad Piggies, a team they played in winners finals. So a lot going into this set here on none other than Mahi Mahi Resort as
Mahi Mahi Resort, yep. Water still up. The range coming out from that squeeze, they're able to find the pick. Last minute pickup in a very good position. All coolered up. They have their drinks. They're moving in. The Wipers are fighting. It's going to be a trade coming out evenly, but the cooler is certainly going to give last minute pickup that edge here. Now, Bad Piggies stuck in spawn. They need to find a way out. They're looking for opportunities to do so. They're going to have to wait. This is actually the Zuka instead of the strikes this time. Worth pointing out, finds one pick. Phantom making some work off of that switch. The hammer comes in. This is exactly what Bad Piggies have been doing for them. But nonetheless, they're going to find a trade out of the situation. Bad Piggies gets the zone, but albeit not coming out on top of the fight as much as they were hoping.
stay alive for more than 30 seconds challenge impossible. It feels like right now. Finally, Cats with this S-Blast gonna make something happen and, you know, actually chain together a couple picks, but gonna go down in a trade there, but a worthwhile trade, no doubt, as Bad Piggies gets the start of a lockout. Max looking to try to turn the momentum around a little bit. They'll pop that hammer, but sort of no backup there, so they'll go down to Cats. Now a try Zuka on the back lines will help them out and find a cap. And 3 go down in favor of last minute pickup as they're able to hold on to their lead a little bit longer.
Nice job. Good awareness with the Zuka. You know, those chips.
Thank you.
I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens when you shark with a blaster. You like miss one direct, and then the whole thing's pointless because you're standing there for like a minute after you miss a shot. So, able to find a trade, and that's a pick on the Sniper, but not before the cooler came out. So not getting as much value as they were hoping. The hammer finds 2. Bad Piggies has an opportunity to get in. 3 members down. The cooler is going to give quick respawns, but Bad Piggies, for the moment, is back into the zone and going to be able to give their team jumps back into that suction bomb.
Oh, hammer from behind! Oh my god, the camera work here is incredible. It's like a horror film with all these jump scares. It's Cats sharking into a hammer from left field. Finally, we'll get a little bit of patience as Phantom's able to use a tried and trusted Trizuka to get a pick to half there. Is now a lockout continues for Bad Piggies, and Neutral though coming out just from some stray bombs and whatnot. And another great job of playing pressure there from the pickup, not letting points tick quite as fast as they would otherwise. Soda now in the veins of pickup as Max pushes forward for one with the Wiper, not going to find it. They'll go down, but 3 go down in the process. Cats now alone with this blaster. Finds one on Awesome Fish. They'll go down though. So now a delayed wipe in favor of last minute pickup. 25 penalty points remain, and they're marching towards a KO now.
Yes, no penalty online. Last minute pickup. Max looking on this right side for an opportunity to get in. The hammer comes out. It's not going to land on the top right. That means Max may not have a tool for getting rushed down on the right. Not able to find a pick. Bad Piggies moving in towards the zone. Here comes the hammer. Going to block off that left side. Give an opportunity for Bad Piggies to move in from that right side. Phantom doing just that. Moving in, getting the pick. That is going to be a recap for Bad Piggies. Looking for the picks in order to get a big advantage, but snipes yet again. Some nice picks, just watching Bad Piggies overextend the tiniest amount and punishing it.
You know, Max is able to run around, no ink below them, but a teammate will bail them out every single time. And maybe that's the difference between these two Wipers. We're seeing some awesome synergy here come out from pickup to allow these players to do what otherwise would be an overextension and instead call it rat gameplay or call it skirmishing with 35 picks left towards a KO.
Yes, last minute pickup looking to close this set away. They're not painting the zone though, opting instead to focus on the fight. They have the lead and not wanting to risk that on like a team wipe. They are going to instead try and back up. They go 2 down. That's going to be Bad Piggy fighting for picks here. Not able to get it. Yeah, last minute pickup opting instead to just focus on staying alive, getting jumps back in, and maintaining control is going to give them the time and space they need to maintain that control of the zone. The Zuka finds 1. That's the Wiper in spawn. Max finds 1 pick, not able to get a second. Only 18 seconds on the timer. That's going to be the Splooshomatic coming in. 2 members have to run for the zone. If they want to neutralize it, they're not going to be able to do it. The most last-minute pickup is going to be your champions of Proving Grounds 35, winning this set 3-1.
Pack up, go home. The most last-minute pickup. In the most last-minute fashion, I would say. pulls out a Game 4 win and defeats a team that gave them some trouble in winner's bracket. You know, obviously we saw a DC win in that game 3 or in that game 3 where it was tied 1-1, and you know it looked like the table had turned around there. But in this case, you know, Last Minute Pickup's able to carry momentum all the way through and find a big W here. So I mean, what a great performance from Bad Piggies. I know you called up earlier that it's a team that you were a little bit surprised to see push this far, and they proved their worth there, taking home that silver. So some great stuff all around, and definitely no runaway games in this set, you know, short of maybe that game 2 was a little bit crazy.
Yeah, I mean, when you're running an explosive team like that, you either win hard or you lose hard. Last minute pickup, just staying composed the entire time, able to recover when they need it and adapt to the gameplay. We saw them shift their team compositions back in winners finals, and they were able to make the most of it, kind of adjusting to the game plan that Bad Piggies was bringing to the table.
All right, Fusion. Well, we're gonna try and wrap this thing up, but first, I'll let you sort of talk about some magic happening in the NorCal region. Pacific Northwest region? No, I'm talking about Booyah Bay, Rice. What are you talking about? Is that not, it's all of Pacific Northwest you're serving? Oh. Oh. Hey, Fusion, what's happening in locals in the northwest of this country?
Well, there's a lot going on. Locals are popping up all over the place, especially the new Booyah Bay. This is your guys' first event, Rice, I believe. And on October 19th, they're going to have their first event. Start.gg/Booyah Bay. I highly recommend checking out this local as well as many others. You can always just look to see if your region has locals. It's as easy as searching on Google or Twitter or even StartGG. Honestly, they've been like popping up all over the place. They've been like in SoCal and Boston, in Chicago and Arizona. There's been Splatoon tournaments all over the place. Highly recommend going out to Booyah Bay if you live in NorCal or further beyond in the Pacific Northwest if you're willing to drive. I know that it feels crazy because like for Sea Battle, I know some people have like driven and even like flown out to it, and like dang, it's like wow, that's crazy. But you know, hopefully, you know, in the future lands pop up like right next to you, but they're worth it whether you have to drive or fly to them. It's only $10 for a spec pass or $25. So sign up early.
And thank you for that beautiful stall there, Fusion, as Rice and I freak out about getting a raid moving here. But hey, there's some great Splatoon going on over on the Splatoon tourney channel. I think it's Ludi Tonight Div 7 finals, maybe? Div 1 now, Div 1 semifinals. So you don't want to miss it over there. That is twitch.tv/Splatoon tourney. Hey, before we send everyone over there, Fusion, where can folks find you?
Find me at 8bitfusion_, or I mean, you can also find me at Sea Battle SPL for our locals. Where can they find you, Brush?
You can find me at play.iplabs.inc/li, TOing low ink next weekend and losing my mind in the process. It's a low-level event, something ad read. You don't want to miss it. Go check it out. Cool. Rice, we good? Can we send folks to bed? All right, great. Hey, thanks so much, Fusion. That was Proving Rounds 35, won by the one and only, the most last-minute pickup, Bad Piggies, in second place. Hey, we'll see you next time.